Sean, to throw you a true curveball, you get to do the intros and the welcoming to Glenview Club.
Really?
Go. Everything that you
serious?
know. Yeah, you can do it.
Wow, this is exciting.
This is exciting, mostly for me.
Well, welcome, ladies, gentlemen.
All both of you.
Exactly, thank you. All 5 of you to lovely bucolic, which is an adjective we have not used.
No, yeah, I've been keeping track.
Glenview Club. Beautiful Gulf, Illinois. For another edition of the CPTC LiveStream. And it promises to be one heck of an exciting, and I mean that sincerely. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic, doesn't it? Can I do that again?
Yeah, I'll cut that out.
Can I
take
do
2.
that again? Okay.
Go ahead, take 2.
Promises to be an exciting evening.
One heck of an exciting beer me.
Yes. And as you're watching the players warm up for tonight's match, I'd like to bring in my cohorts. And I say horts because, so to speak, because one of them does have a mic and the other one, thankfully, does not.
Am I the one with the mic, Sean?
That's correct. That would be Coach Matt McClure.
I'm Matt McClure, sitting next to Sean Albrecht for a Series 2 match here in beautiful, historic Gulf. I didn't realize it was Gulf, Illinois for a long time.
It is.
I just assumed that it was in Glenview, but I guess I need to look at my GPS more often.
So often.
The Glenview Club.
Yes, beautiful place. Matter of fact, I kind of wish I could come in here, but because of daylight savings time, I couldn't come in while it was still daylight.
That's right. So you got taken in the service entrance?
Yeah, but it's
that's fair.
Pretty place.
I could see that. Today, Glenview is playing against Westmoreland. Over there on the far side in the red, white, and blue hat is Teddy Bouclemont, and his name is cut off in the scoreboard because it is just too long. It is not because I just didn't know how to spell it and I was too embarrassed to give it a shot. It was 100% because it wouldn't fit. So Thanks for not roasting me on social media. And his partner over there on the other side is Tom Davis, who I have never met nor am aware of existed as a paddle player. But this is pretty exciting because he made it all the way to Series 2, and I hadn't heard of him.
Absolutely. I'm liking this Dutch sweatshirt, Coach.
And then
that
here
is just key.
Is Chris Williams on the right side of the court on the Deuce side in the red hat. And then on the left side or the ad side over here is Clark Schmidt for Glenview. This is a Court 3 match? Court 3 match tonight before we get to the main event. So this is a pretty solid, title card here.
We got some talent out here. This is Court 3.
I know. These guys have already hit several warm-up serves with more action than I've ever put on the ball.
Boy,
if you combine multiple motions.
I'm so glad you finished that sentence a certain way, Coach, because I thought you were going to go another direction with that.
You know what? Not usually during the live stream. I let Jason Love take care of those kinds of comments.
Should we? By the way, if we can get Jason up, we do.
Yeah, actually, he's going to join us a little bit. He's going to join us a little bit here as the head pro here at Glenview Club. Director of Racket Sports really is the official title, I think, because it's multiple sports. Hey, are you doing pickleball? We are. Oh my gosh, everybody's doing pickleball. I think we got to add in badminton and table tennis, and probably Fortnite tournaments in order to fully realize all of the rackets potential that we have.
I'm bringing them up on the mixing board. Hopefully this works. Let's see if we can get him there.
Let's see if we can get him. Oh, we got him on the headset?
Yeah.
This is so advanced.
Just like a real broadcast.
Yeah, wow, what's that like?
Hey.
All right.
Hey, Jason, we got you? Yeah, I think we got him.
I tell you what, it sounds so much better in these headphones.
You got your broadcast voice on.
I've always said they've told me I have a face for radio, so this fits perfectly.
Oh, come on. There couldn't be that many people that said that.
Just the important ones.
I was trying to be more complimentary.
Just the important ones.
I was trying to be way more complimentary.
Yeah. What did they say about you, Cal?
Don't be late for dinner.
The only downside of Cal having to pick someone up from the airport tonight instead of being able to be on the stream is that he'll be unable to interject the definitions of widely and common used words that he's become so known for during the broadcast.
We just call them cows.
Yeah, that's fine. It's no big deal. Jason, what do you know about these teams?
So we've got 2 of our up-and-coming players at the club here.
I was going to say they look young.
They are both considerably younger than you and I, Matt.
Oh,
so,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, but so Chris is actually
in here.
Chris is the son of national champion parents Dan and Sarah Williams.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So This is really the
This is
bottom
court
level that
3?
he's can ever
Jeez.
play.
Are we stacking?
Yeah, this is a good stack. Jason knows the strategy.
I don't know what stacking means, but this court is pretty good. And then Clark Schmidt, who also has done a really nice job, young athletic guy, but picking it up very quickly and moving up our ranks and our teams very fast.
Do you remember when we first started playing and we were the up-and-comers and we were moving up the ranks really fast?
I still think I'm still got room to grow. I
Okay,
think,
that's good.
But,
Good for you.
But yes, it's Matt, we've been a long time.
Yeah,
together.
yeah, it's been a while, and I just remember being so thankful that I started when I did, when there was like 12 people playing the sport, and I could still like get a rank before there was like real talent in the game, and I could pretend to hang around with the big boys.
It is amazing how it's grown like that, especially in now the tournament play and the number of guys that play tournaments has really increased. So like we're hosting the intermediates this
Right.
coming weekend, which is one of, if not the largest tournament in the country.
Right.
Every year.
Right. And Jason, as the not only the director here at Glenview Club, but because Glenview is so heavily involved with all of the tournaments that run through Chicago, you are basically fully a tournament director as well in whatever time you're able to scrape together that's not here on the Glenview courts.
Well, thank you. It's fun. It's the club here loves hosting, and they've hosted 6 national tournaments,
Yep.
which
Wow.
I've been told we're penciled in to host again in 23. So not this spring, but the next spring, the nationals in March, for our seventh time. So
That's awesome.
Congrats. That's
thank you.
awesome.
It's fun. It really the club itself does a great job. They put
They
on
do.
a good show, and I really think the players love coming here. So it works out well. There's an
That
ace to
is a
start the
great
match.
ace to start.
Hometown bounce right there off the seam. Beautiful.
Probably time to just walk off the court, I would think,
Can we
after
cut and
starting
paste
that
that
way.
for his highlight reel?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah.
We can put that together. I'm actually getting ready to start
Just don't use
throwing
the
up
blurry camera
replays.
for the.
Oh, and there's the doink.
Okay,
right off the
all right.
shot.
So
There you go.
these
It's
guys
gonna
are
be a
starting
good
hot.
night,
You
yeah.
like to see that.
It's gonna be a good evening.
This match is going to last about 11 minutes if this continues.
The only
Speaking
other
of-
way to make it quicker is if we throw the turkey shoot targets up there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
You run a turkey shoot as well?
we do.
It's always been a fun event. For anybody that doesn't happen to be in the Chicago market able to participate in a turkey shoot, do you guys do win the game or win the point?
Win the whole game. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to go for it.
Yeah, so there's little targets that go in the center screens, and then if somebody's able to hit that with the ball, do you let them keep it if it's out of the air?
No.
Okay,
no.
me
It's
neither.
got to go
Me
in the
neither.
blue
In
first.
the blue,
Yeah.
then to the screen.
Has to be legitimate.
But if you hit the turkey poster, you automatically win that game. So there's always an element of fun and surprise and weird strategy where people are just trying to protect the turkey and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Or if you get behind in the game, then you just start going at the turkey. It's pretty fun.
I think allowing the on the fly is kind of the equivalent of the rails in bowling. You know, you
Yeah, right,
allow
right.
pretty much it's a free for all.
Bumper bowling and turkey posters are essentially the same game.
You gotta
We do it for 4-year-old birthday parties. It's
you
incredible.
Gotta up your insurance with the whole thing.
Yeah.
The fun part too is depending on the temperature, you can actually hit it just off a normal ground stroke. So if you hit your return to serve hard enough,
Right,
you
and
know,
it stays kind of at that lower
Sure.
trajectory.
Pete Rose one time had like the all-time turkey shoot record. He had like 37 turkeys.
By just blowing the ball through the
Just
middle.
crushing backhand returns.
That's awesome.
Wow.
All right, well, that's first game right there to Glenview. They are up 1-0 in set number 1.
I was gonna say they're playing
And a
well,
quick
but I've never
start.
seen it
Everybody's
before.
swinging. Let's
Yeah.
see if Westmoreland chooses to go a little bit more slow and conservative here, or if they just decide they're going to try to match the energy level of Glenview, which I think would be tough to do because those guys are jacked on steroids.
I'm so glad you used the word conservative because most people are afraid of it, but not Matt McClure. He's like, I don't care if it has a political overtone. We're gonna go with
No,
it.
yeah, I don't deal with
I try to
political
stay-
connotation when it
good
comes
for
to the
you.
world of sport.
You know, that's what.
Except I tried to get
Don't
Teddy
ever
to
change.
kneel during the national anthem, and he said no. So I don't know. I think it's because he's French.
Said
He
something
was
to me
like, I
couldn't
don't
understand.
get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I've kind of seen him before. I could have sworn you played a match against him, Coach McClure.
I'm sure I have. I bet actually, Teddy might have been one of the only guys that I have played against in tournament paddle of this particular group of guys.
Okay, because
I don't think I've had the chance to bump into
I
either
think
of them.
you and Matt Harris possibly.
We did, yeah. Me and Matt probably played
That's where I've
against
seen him before.
when Teddy was at Lake Forest Club, I think, last year.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the assistant pro at Westmoreland.
I never get tired of that joke. Ever.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep saying it.
Jason, love these lights, by the way.
Yeah, agreed.
The patio lights on the deck, or
Both.
okay.
I mean, also the string lights that are on your new
Yeah.
on your new
Absolutely.
deck
Yeah,
back
no,
there.
no.
That's
I mean,
that's
just
pretty
talking about
excellent.
These are awesome.
Talking about the lights on the courts.
The courts, yeah, court lights, sir. Yes.
So those are new this year. We did a number of trial runs of different systems last year, and this is what our group decided to go with.
Don't blame it. It's beautiful.
What makes it
awesome
special?
shot.
So
What makes this the go-to?
It's actually an indirect light, so what you're seeing when you look up at it is a reflection off of mirrors,
Okay.
rather than direct from the bulb itself.
That's cool.
So
to
you-
try to avoid the blinding glare of the direct LED.
Somebody's thinking.
Yeah. So this is, I believe it's Windy City Lighting is the company.
Okay.
I get paid promo money for that.
That's fine.
Thanks.
I'll make sure that they're
It
aware
was
of your
a great
operation.
lead-in. Thank you.
Yep, you got it.
But yeah, so we did a number of different test courts, and about 7 years ago we did that again, or we did it a different time and came up with a different set of lights then. So, you know, the group here again, like you brought up the tournaments and everything, we like being kind of on the edge, the
Sure.
forefront,
Yep.
if you will, of trying to find out what's out there and the best. So,
Yep. Yeah, I like these a lot. I have noticed the last time that we had the chance to play on these courts that they're a little bit less blinding than your average light that's out there at the moment in terms of the LEDs. Lakeshore, where I'm at, still has kind of the big halogen bulbs, and the guys do like them, even though the courts are a little bit darker,
Darker.
because they don't go so blind, right? It's just not quite as bright in your face.
So in yours are in the stadium domes, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
That's we love that, and that we tried very hard to keep that.
Yes, and if we could find enough light bulbs to keep them going, it would be, great, but we've only got enough lights left for maybe another season and a half before we have to make a move.
We ran into the same boat, so
Yeah.
it was, unfortunately they don't make the light bulbs. It's literally the same as the bulb that's kind of in your house.
Right.
And you got to get up there on a ladder, and
Right.
luckily I've got an assistant that's not
Pretty
as
tall.
scared of heights as I am.
I'm pretty nervous too, which is weird for being such a tall guy. You would think it wouldn't be that big a deal, but I get about 2 feet off the ground before I'm super sweaty.
It gets dicey up there.
Yeah.
It's 20 feet in the air, so it's
Do they put you in the chair during tournaments ever to call matches, or do you do all the other things so you just refuse to?
No, one of the
to do
nice
that.
things about being involved in the tournament in other ways is you don't have to go up there,
Right.
or
Good
you,
for
you
you.
find
Match.
other people to go
Coach,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
John Noble actually asked me to ump a match, one of the semis on Sunday for charities, and I just didn't respond.
Yeah,
to the
good call.
text.
Yeah, good call. Just ghosted him.
So, yeah.
I like to throw him the occasional new phone who dis, just to be like, what are you, out of your mind? Hey, you want to ump a match? I don't want to do that at all.
I use my Russian. I just go right into.
Cell phones have a lot of different characters you can use now, so I'm pretty sure you could back that up. Just a monster return there from Teddy.
It was.
When we one of the matches on Saturday, I think it was the women's semi, we were putting the guy up there, to get him up there on a ladder.
Yeah.
And some spectators, some ladies asked, they go, "How do you get to sit up there?" I told John Noble, tournament director, I said, "This might be an interesting sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
You can raffle these off
I will sell that seat. And while you're up there, call the score nice and loud.
and settle any line call disputes."
Yeah, exactly. With this particular group of people. That's a good rip. Good rip right there from Tom Davis.
Tom and Teddy starting to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, finding their groove. They were able to play some solid defense to kind of climb back into this game.
Yeah, the tempo and the momentum has really slowed down after those first couple
Yep.
wild games.
Yep, starting to see a lot more reset overheads than heavy rollers.
You find that happens a lot. In other words, the pace starts to slow down after the first game or so. People just get settled.
Yeah, there's always some stuff at the beginning where I think in a lot of circumstances, especially guys at this level, like swing at the beginning, try to get loose, find your rhythm, and also if it happens to go in, then like swing away, right?
Rolling.
Go to the well until it runs
Keep
dry.
rolling,
Yeah, but as soon as it starts to shut down a little bit, you don't want to be giving away a match because you spent 4 games just
That was a great
going
location
all
on
out.
that drive.
Yep, good spot. That's one of the things Teddy has really improved as he's been on the court for a couple years, is he just is able to stay lower and keep his balance.
Another
He
good
used
one.
to pop up off the deck all the time because of his tennis background, and
you can
he's
see that.
started to really figure it out.
Very smooth strokes. That is it's funny you say that, Coach. That's one of the things that we see at Lakeshore all the time, is that any of the tennis players that come in, they're leaving the deck a lot and don't realize the value of not doing that, the
Right.
value of staying on.
Unless you can run halfway up the screen and jump and smack a shot like Jason Love does, in which case it's totally fine. Like if you're an urban ninja, then go for it.
It helps when you're shorter.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot
to
more
an
balls to
extent.
hit.
That was a big drive
But
there.
most people can't get their
Solid
head
backhand.
above the top beam though, like Jason can.
That's true. Yeah, no,
I've- I'm just saying that's some hops, man.
he's always wearing moon shoes.
Those have yet to be called illegal. So
still able to be played in the world of.
good little blitz by Clark.
Yep.
He really likes to get in there, cause a little chaos in the court.
Yep, smart play. Also interesting with this first temperature shift of the season,
I was
right?
just gonna
Where
say
we've
that.
started to get into, the 30s instead of being the
Real paddle.
40s and 50s, and it's interesting because you can see it a little bit on shots in the way that the ball comes off a paddle, and you can hear it just a little bit as well. Just a little more solid ball.
Sure.
A little bit less spin on it, maybe, as the ball
Just
is a
the way
little
it
firmer when
bounces.
it's cold.
And the report when it bounces, it just is not.
Yeah, you get a lot
Exploding.
more screens that come out level instead of the ball
Oh, yeah.
rising off the screen.
Oh,
That
doink.
is tough, and that ball is gone forever. Careful, guys. That's where the skeet range is.
It's generally closed when it's dark, but
I mean,
so
sometimes.
that's not short for mosquitoes, I guess. I'm sorry.
it's he's good overhead there. Aim right for the corner. Clark was out darting around a little bit.
Yep. Opened up some space. And low enough into that spot where he couldn't ask his partner to help and come over. It was kind of shooting out a little too low. Well played. Hey, Jay, you don't have to comment on this, but I will. I think that it's fascinating that with the traction that paddle has and the national tournaments and stuff, that still, and I'm not saying Glenview, I'm saying across the country, that skeet shooters will not put it on hold for a 6-hour period during a national final to stop the gunshots while people play paddle. I'm just saying. I think it's a fascinating element in the world of country club sport. I guess is basically what I'm saying. Not everywhere. That it's just kind of a constant.
It is, and one of the funnier conversations I've ever had about that topic was from, I believe, it 8-time national champ Scott Mansager, who has said he's on record for every year Charities Nationals is here. He asked the tournament director if they can postpone or stall the shooting during his matches.
Right.
Notice nobody's hitting the deck. That.
With the shot
Right,
itself.
exactly. Yeah, because you hear gunshots in tennis. I mean, if you're like me, there's a pretty good blitz opportunity there, but.
I was at a little club in Ohio called Kirtland Country Club that I absolutely loved in Cleveland, just outside of Cleveland. And while I was there and teaching a lot of paddle, they had redone the skeet facility, but they were unable to regain the permit for them to continue shooting, which was the biggest blessing that I had ever received, because it was it was right next to the courts. I mean, it was, I could hit them with a paddle ball, no problem, like from where it was. And now that I think about it, one of the pros would have been that had I ended up staying there longer and they got their license back, I would have just taken weekends off. Because I was not willing to stand out there and go deaf or yell over gunshots. Wow, good speed, but great drop shot. But yell over gunshots to teach a lesson. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I don't work from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekends.
You know, now the extra netting we put up so the golf balls don't hit us on the tennis courts doesn't seem so bad anymore. Now.
No.
When you tell that story, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they were shooting the opposite direction. I just mean the noise in general would have just been chaos.
Yeah,
I mean, it's loud enough here at Glenview with it completely on the opposite side of the golf course. This was the facility was where the opposite building hut is from where we're sitting right now.
Wow.
It certainly adds an extra element that first weekend in November every year.
Right, yeah.
You find yourself getting a little skittish.
Uh-huh. And do you forget until the first shot? I mean, are you just kind of rolling and then all of a sudden you hear the first one and you're like,
sure.
This is happening again.
For sure, yeah. For sure.
Because at that point you're 6 weeks into the season, at least, right?
Yeah.
Mid-September, you got to get rolling, and then, first week in November, oh, hey.
Welcome back.
Bang!
Yes, exactly.
This is good digging from Westmo here, because these guys are really laying balls into the corners at the moment.
They're willing to sit back there and grind a little bit, which is certainly done well for them.
Yep, which you have to be willing to do. 30 love Glenview, or a rotation. We may have missed the score there.
The skeet shooting got us
that
once
was
again.
clearly
That's right.
That was clearly Williams and Schmidt's game. So we're going to say that they're up 3-2. Because that last ball was a long lob.
I don't mean to get esoteric on everybody, but I love it.
But you're going to do it anyway.
That's right. There's a few flakes in the air like this. I love this kind of weather, especially to play paddle or whatever. Just a few snowflakes in the air, so you do feel like it's wintertime. Just get a little bit of that, but not a lot of wind.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last temperature that I can set up the cameras outside without having to put hand warmers in my pockets while I do it.
There you go. Yeah. Not a bad barometer. Sit. Uh-oh. Can he get back there? No. Nice touch.
Great lob. Great lob
Mr.
location.
Williams.
Q4. What do you call that, Matt?
The square of despair.
Square.
I think I stole that from someone else.
At least you admitted it.
I don't know who it is. I can't remember.
Hey.
There's so many. We've taught so many different camps with each other and all the different pros.
I attribute it
I don't
to you,
even.
although-
I would give full credit to everything I say. I just can't remember who it was originally anymore.
It's probably a shorter list of who it's not from.
That's just probably right. Yeah, there's 3 guys that would never say that. And then everybody else. We just kind of adapt as we go. I still always credit Mike Raleigh when I say move like a quarterback, not a quarter pounder. That's one that everyone enjoys hearing on the court across the board. All my students really appreciate that particular piece of feedback.
He's easily top 5 funniest guys.
Of questionable things to say in a lesson. Yeah, I love it. We're going to get him doing some announcing with us here in the next couple weeks.
And yet he can get away with it. Why is
Well,
that?
I mean, he never changed it. It
No.
wasn't, I don't know. It's
I
hard.
say that I'm brought up on charges, Coach.
It's hard to cancel somebody that doesn't have social media. I mean, that's
It's a good point.
how are they going to find out that they're not, relevant anymore?
It's a really good point.
He says it with a smile and from a place of love.
Yeah, not in a bad way. I don't. None of it is meant to be.
No. He's
None
a
of it's
great dude.
meant to be negative.
I love
And to be
that.
perfectly honest, he doesn't say anything that's
No, it
scandalous. He just has like a funny
my
way
goodness.
of. He just has some really funny ways of delivering stuff. Because if we're totally honest, really good coaching should sting a little bit, or you're not going to pay any attention to it. Like if you're too polite all the time, then it's too easy to dismiss.
I'll pack my things, Coach.
Pack your stuff, Sean. You're too nice.
That I don't think of. Look at the sky walking.
That is a snowflake,
Snowflake
error
in
right
the
there.
eye.
Yeah.
Think so?
Snowflake in the eye.
Yeah.
You think so?
Matt
Yeah.
and I knew
It
that
looked that
call was
way.
coming.
Started you seeing the flurries, and all of a sudden you're like, that's a high lob. That'll be a problem. Yeah, great hands.
Chris volleys well. He's a good athlete. He gets low.
No way.
Whoa. Oh, it touched him.
I think he got him.
Bummer.
It's a heck of a screen drive.
Yeah.
It is cold, to your point out there, and guys keep those overheads low. You can't give that drive back off the screen.
Right. It's a good move.
That's a good point, Coach. One timing, kind of the rule. I've seen Clark before. Now that he took the hat off, I've seen him before somewhere.
He plays a lot.
Does he?
He loves to play. He's out here both weekend days, all day long, despite skeet shooting. And he plays all the local tournaments. He really loves to play.
That's awesome. One of those ways that players improve that often gets overlooked a lot of the time by people trying to get better. I got nothing against people coming out and taking lessons, and I get it, but there's an element where you just have to put the reps in match play in order to really elevate your game.
It's a great point, Coach. It's irreplaceable match play. You're really, there's no such thing as, or no replacement, I should say,
Right.
for situational
Right.
training, if you will.
Right. To the point where sometimes with my students, as much as I appreciate that they want,
That was a nice
to work on
call.
something specific with me, I'll be like, let's find two other people on your team and at least do some kind of playing lesson
Yes.
where we can get into some situational scenarios.
And I think tournament play too is you get 3, 4, 5 matches.
Oh, it's
Great
huge.
point.
Yeah.
And they've been doing such a great job now of finding a tournament level for everybody.
Right.
So you don't have to be chasing a national ranking to play in a tournament.
Right.
What's Anthony McPherson calling those quick tournaments? Like the Fast Four, or what's he calling them?
Yeah, he has a catchy little name for
Yeah.
it that it eludes me at the moment, but it is a great little kind of a micro tournament, sort of, right? A quicker format.
Yeah, you just play. I think it's like 4 matches,
Mhm.
like a little pool play,
Yeah.
and then you're done.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
One day.
Oh.
That's a tough scramble there. Is that Dave Parker over there on court 4?
It is.
He's still playing? Wow, good for him.
He is still playing. He's playing against another legend over there, Dave Peleus from our Glenview team.
That's
Those
awesome.
guys, they probably played a few hundred times against each other.
That guy is just a grinder.
How many teams do you have playing out of the Glenview club, Coach?
So we have five what we call travel teams. So the way our program works now is we have more in-house players than we have travel team players.
Interesting.
So we have the equivalent of about another 7 teams worth of guys
Wow.
that only play here. And then we've got another group, like, for example, Clark Schmidt, Chris Williams, that are out there. They play in both the in-house and the travel team leagues, But, I started that a couple years ago, and the guys in particular have really picked up on it. So we run matches. You can't see with the camera, but us here in the booth, if you look over to the left, we run matches on the hour, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, all through. So we operate essentially as a 4-court facility and have 2 courts running for in-house matches every
Cool.
night. So
Wow.
it's,
Good for you guys. That's awesome, Coach.
well, they great facility, right? Good food. They just
Sure.
want to hang with their buddies, or they don't want to travel, or whatever the reason is.
Primarily because they didn't want to go to Hinsdale.
We did go there 2 weeks ago for our match. The hut's under construction. It's going to be beautiful, but it was freezing cold.
Not that it's not a nice place.
Yeah.
Hinsdale's a beautiful.
No, but I could totally understand that, and I'm just, just speaking from, just repeating the feedback that I've heard from some of my own players, especially, sometimes at certain levels, them just being like, I don't want to spend more time in the car than I do on the court, and I get it. I do understand that, like, some of these guys are driving back from the city, changing clothes or whatever, stopping at home, doing something, and then heading out again, and I get it that it can feel a little bit tough, but it's a small price to pay for
Yeah.
playing solid paddle matches.
Oh yeah.
And the biggest area we've seen is in the beginner players. So guys or ladies that are just starting or never played before. You know, you don't have to go to a match and be confused of what's going on or not sure.
Yeah.
And so we actually had one of the exciting things about how the program works is we just added a ladies travel team that was all in-house players.
Awesome.
So they just said, all right, let's take this show on the road. And
they got to the point where they felt comfortable and they were ready to make it happen. That's sweet.
It's a great it's a really smart progression. In other words, it's a nice middle ground. We would always talk in the tennis world where, for juniors we'd have novice tournaments, which was a great idea. Just because people just get thrown into an open play when they've only played one or two matches in their lives. So in a way, it's great. That's a really good idea because I could see that trend continuing.
We had a meeting today, actually a committee meeting today, in which that same topic came up, and I'm all for it. It's just that we need a few more base players, to even consider doing something in-house so that it's not the same 5 people rotating every week.
Yeah.
But when if you're pulling from a large enough pool, like you guys are, where you kind of split 50-50, then it's doable.
It certainly takes some buy-in, right? You got to get the guys and the ladies to buy into it.
Right.
And there's no doubt, like our Series 2, Series 3, Series 1 guys, we haven't had as many of them jump in.
Right, they're going to want to travel and
firing on all cylinders, and they want the most competitive matches they can have.
Right.
But again, especially for the beginners, the kind of middle of the pack series levels, it's been incredibly well received. So I suggest everybody does it. If nothing else, you try it.
Yep.
And see what happens.
Yep, good idea. You're an innovator. Always have been.
Like you said, a lot of borrowed.
Sometimes you just got to ham and egg it.
Good old Mike Rowleyism again. We're going to ham and egg that thing.
It's intelligent thievery, though.
Chris, very loud. I was going to go in, but he...
You got to steal the right stuff.
All right, looks like we got a set point here. Yep. Oh, no, I lied. 5-3. Sorry. Off a little bit in the score. This is the only downside
I was blocking for you, though.
of... I was going to say this is the only downside of kind of where we're at in the process for the live stream, is that because we don't have somebody in the chair, we're doing the best we can to make calls, but we're just not always right about, we don't always pick it up the right way. And so sometimes there's the occasional correction where we're off by a game, or there's a long deuce game and we can't figure out what the call was on the last point, or some stuff like that can be difficult.
I think you take that sponsorship idea.
Yeah, no, I
raffle
totally
those
agree.
Seats off.
Yeah. You want to watch a Series 2 match from the best seat in the house?
Bring a blanket.
Yeah. Maybe a wetsuit.
How many of these nights have you done so far, guys?
This is our 8th league night.
Right.
This season. I'm sorry, this is our 7th league night this season, and then we also did the I-355 tournament as kind of a kickoff event. And we got some fun stuff coming up now that we've kind of found our groove a little bit and made some stuff happen. So we've got some interviews that we're doing with the Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. We have a couple of doctors and trainers coming in that are going to do some quick hit interviews with us, and maybe a little kind of a tip of the week or some informational stuff about proper warm-up and technique and some things like that. And then we also are going to be doing some tournaments. It looks like Bummer City. We're going to be doing some tournaments coming up as well. So we're excited.
Well, if you want to leave your gear in here, you can do the intermediates this weekend.
We did actually talk about that and had that on the we had it on the potential list of what we were going to do, but I think we're doing Illinois States, and then possibly doing another one later. We wanted to save some of our tournament time or some of our extra time so that we could do kind of a comprehensive thing during the league finals as well. So we'd kind of like to we have an idea where we like pick a team and follow them all the way through the league finals, and kind of do it as a
It's like hard knocks
sort of like
paddle.
like a docu series almost. So so that's gonna require some planning and prep, but yeah, we will be doing some of the local Chicago tournaments as well.
Well, it's great. I know the guys and the ladies have really loved it. You guys do a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Keep that ball. It's on your fucking paddle.
Yeah, radio edit.
There we go. Now, that's
Press the button, Cal.
That was the
those
other thing we
Westmoreland
got.
guys.
that shotgun mic is
Those,
very sensitive.
Super sensitive. It's okay. I didn't jump through the extra hoops for the YouTube channel to make it child appropriate, so we should be fine.
Well, it might be like a baby monitor. You're picking up another court somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we just crossed wires with
This was
Tanaqua.
calling from the gun range.
That was North Shore.
Sorry
across
about
the street.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some other clubs in the area that are using the same frequency.
How many players at your club, Matt, are you seeing with the underhand serve like Teddy's hitting there?
So I would say that we have 1 or 2 players on every team that has kind of converted to that. And I'll be 100% honest and give full credit to Spencer Caravaggio.
Absolutely.
Because obviously she's playing well right now in the world of tournament paddle, and she has been kind of fine-tuning that serve over this last
Doink.
Oh, go.
season.
Oh, he
What
got
a
it.
dig!
Unbelievable.
He got it again.
Look at this guy.
Yes!
That's when being under 30 helps.
Yeah, it's almost cheating. I think you probably should make these guys provide passports. What do you have to be to play in League 21? Prove it.
I was saying this previously, maybe even a previous broadcast, but it really does pay off to be in better shape out there, because some people feel like, well, I can play paddle because I don't have to be in great shape. Let me tell you, it actually makes a difference, especially with rallies like this. Oh, of course, I jinxed him right there. Commentator
Yeah,
jinx.
that's a great point, though.
Was.
Yeah, I think you see it a lot more now in tournament paddle too. Would you agree, Jay?
Oh,
That,
yeah.
like the fitness element, I didn't feel like it was quite that much of a grind to make it through a tournament when I was first playing. Part of it was youth, but part of it was that I always felt like there was a couple of rounds that were a little easier at the beginning.
Yes.
And I don't feel like that anymore. I'm feeling a lot like first round there's a chance that somebody's going to want to grind it out and they're going to be good. And
It's a lot more depth, maybe.
There
yeah.
definitely is more depth. And,
Yeah.
and then what the APTA do in the different level tournaments, and they're letting only a select number smaller draws, right?
Yeah.
Select number of teams. There's nowhere to hide. There's no easy
Right.
matches.
Right.
You know, I mean, look, if this was your easiest match of a 5-match tournament,
Yeah.
it's still not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Still not how you want to start your day.
Yeah, this is a battle.
I think too, you know, you get like you said, so many more tennis players influxing in, and the level has just gotten so good. I mean, again, these are Series 2 matches.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the depth is there. Have you seen a little bit of a push with them kind of taking Series 1 and just kind of limiting it the 4
Looked
teams
Like that is the set.
and
by the way,
pushing it
Coach.
there? So obviously there's some guys, you know, in that bracket that have kind of been pushed into 2 and 3, right?
Yeah,
And so this season in particular, it seems like there's, you know, that has created a little bit of an evolution to the level.
Yeah, well, I think for the last couple years that's been happening, you know, and you've got, and I'll use our members in our group here, you know, Pete Rose, Paul Rose, Ben McKnight, you know, Nick Kremitis. These are top-notch, nationally ranked power players, you know, and for us to be playing on a Series 2 team in a competitive league,
Right. Right.
that says a lot about the league.
Yeah.
You know, but it also has really been fun for us here because you get, like, here's a Glenview Westmoreland matchup, right? Or Indian Hill, or, you know, you're getting these kind of some of the clubs we all started out playing, that little tighter knit group, you know, and again, like you brought up Dave Parker playing over here on the court next to us. So you getting that cross mix of still very high talent level,
Right.
but a lot of the guys we've played with for a long time.
Right. All right, well, we got a 6-4 first set here for Glenview Club. We're going to swing it over to Illinois Bone and Joint for a couple of commercials, and we'll be right back.
from the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
This is really cool, guys.
This is fun, isn't it? There are definitely worse things I could be doing with a Thursday night. like if I were playing instead of doing this, that would be worse for everyone.
You could take my spot.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there won't be any questions in that regard. Why is Jason so fat?
He got taller.
And tall.
And a beard.
It's crazy. I don't know, but he's got a fake license that says his name is, so I guess it's fine. All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Speed.
Touch.
Go. Go.
Another good located drive. Right hip. We will always talk about that as instructors.
Go.
Especially if it's a right-hander, that is. He tried, and unbelievable. As they say, maybe don't try that at home, but that's
Making
spectacular.
his move.
You know, especially with the drop in the temperature. Matt, you brought that up earlier. Sean, maybe it was you, I don't remember, but, you know.
No, Matt did that. You can.
That drop in temperature, just that shorter volley.
Oh, yeah. Get over.
But that's also the problem with the shorter volley.
Right.
Let's get blitz.
Matt, I'm sure you get asked a lot, and you asked the question about the different levels, but I'm sure you get asked, what's the difference, right, between a Series 2, Series 3 to a Series 6 guy or lady? You know, and my answer is always the same. It's the volley.
Yep. We're totally agreed in that regard. Is that when everybody on the court has a world-class volley, it is so difficult to figure out a way to win a point. And that's really what extends everything, right? Is that, like, it's not somebody hitting one drive and then the point being over. It's the number of shots you have to hit well in order to actually get any traction.
And I think, too, it forces them to lob. You know, it's taking away something.
Right.
So anytime you can impose just by simply making a shot, you don't even have to do anything with it, but it just takes away their drive.
I guess I also talk a lot about kind of like the level of comfort, right? Like I teach a little bit that there's a level separation in the idea that a true paddle player is always looking for the ball to go to the screen, and then they choose to play a ball off the deck instead of the opposite, right? And before you really figure it out, you might be using the screens reluctantly, like, oh, I can't reach that one, so I have to let it go to the screen. And I think the true paddle player thinks in the opposite mindset.
Yeah. And Sean, you just commented that last point ended with a forehand volley. You got him to flip, went to that right hip, and got Chris to flip that volley over. And
that makes a difference too. It's also the quality of the volleys. Because I mean, obviously, a made volley is a made volley. That's fine, but it's that if you can keep the ball deeper, or you can put a little arc on it, put a little air under it, and you see that a lot more at the higher levels.
Saving that one.
Oh.
Wow, good hands.
Fast. Teddy was all over the net on that one.
Yeah, it's almost Clark taking that short as quickly as he did. It almost did his team a disservice. Good eye.
I know it is interesting how even if you're doing something aggressive and it seems like a great shot, you can kind of hit yourself into trouble, right? Where it's like, you know, I'm too close and they were too prepared, and all of a sudden the ball's going to show up quicker than we can react to, even if it's a great shot, even if it's a great, you know, on paper it's, in a vacuum it's a great shot, except for the situation.
It's the shot you're going to talk about over dinner.
40 love, I
probably
think.
still lost straight.
I think it was Jerry Viant that said you should never hit a ball faster than you can move, right? So
That is a great
when
thought.
they're up close and you drive it hard at them,
Right.
you're going to have to face the ball coming back at you just as fast.
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, it makes the for such a small court, you would think that there would be less options with what you can do, but it just the minutia, right, the finesse involved in doing all that stuff well is just, there's just so many things to do. I don't know about you, but I have really enjoyed teaching paddle a little bit more than tennis over the last few years, just because of that piece of the variety, of the focus on the strategy over the shot making and, you know, some of those pieces of the puzzle.
It's a great point. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Sean.
No, go ahead.
I think that it's two totally different games.
Right.
You know, if tennis is checkers, paddle is chess, to steal from the great Rod Workman, you know. So, and you get 4 players that are all comparable level. You know, you got to work your way through the match strategically instead of power them through like you can on a tennis court.
Right, yeah. It's funny because when I get people on the court for the first time, they've all played tennis, and sometimes they haven't played any paddle, and I always give the same little tidbit opening, which is I will now give you all the similarities between tennis and paddle. The scoring is the same, and the court looks the same. We are now done. Like, that was it. We're going to do totally different things.
Good eye.
I know it's going to look a lot, you know, similar. It's going to kind of feel similar in a lot of ways, but it is a totally different animal.
You don't warn them about sticking their tongue to the screen?
Usually not in September when I'm starting. That's more of a week 7 conversation.
True.
Usually at the end of the evening when somebody's had a few.
It just gets a good laugh.
Usually
you start it. You start with a laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Usually I encourage it after our first holiday mixer. Somebody go stick their tongue to the screen.
The other concept, and Coach, you're so right about that, by the way. Both of you guys, by the way. But what I was going to say is that there's an element of anticipatory shot making in paddle that although there is anticipation in tennis, it's not like paddle where we have to get a lot of tennis players to realize that when the drive goes by, you still have a shot at it.
Yeah.
In other words, hey, just continue to move back, which is something that tennis players have to get used to. They just figure the point's over when the ball goes by. But no. Especially in a hotter day or a warmer day, you can actually just take one step back and keep the point
and
going.
snag that ball. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Or I think the flip side is you intentionally let it go by to increase the level of your shot that you can hit back.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, instead of having to take it.
Right. Yeah, seeing somebody wind up and then deciding, oh, this is going to be fine if I let it go, is a very unique element.
No question. One of my favorite quotes, and I'll give you credit, Coach, because I have never heard anybody else say it, which was when I got to the paddle court, and I actually, back in New York, I actually started with a guy named Bill Griffin years ago at the Larchmont Yacht Club, big plug there. And but anyway, I remember coming back to the courts and after years and with Coach McClure, and I just said, he said to me, "Listen, remember your big serve and you know that forehand you hit, it's useless out here. Just well, how's your backhand volley? It's my worst shot, Coach. Okay, great. So you're gonna do fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I always joke around that all the things I did well on the tennis court had no value
None.
in the world of paddle, and I actually thought it made it easier for me to learn
They need
faster.
another ball. Maybe we can. Do we have maybe we can grab another one for the
I don't know.
somebody
I
else
think they
grab it?
should just crawl under the deck.
There's only 2 or 3 animals under there.
Get under there and find
There we
it.
go. There we go.
There's a
Was
hut
that,
full of guys in there that can grab one.
Was that a game? It must have been a game for Williams Schmidt.
Yeah, sooner or later we'll probably have play site with the with paddle. Probably have something like a play site machine out there where calling lines and keeping the score. I can't imagine
In
you can't use
paddle,
it.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think
You
it's
don't
too.
think
I think it's still too
Somebody's gonna spill beer on it.
just a niche sport. Well, it's just one of those things. I mean, it's a fascinating element, but the reason that we still don't have a ball machine in the world of platform tennis is that you could only sell 50 of them. Like, I mean, it's not. I mean, you know, they barely figured it out in tennis, and that's a worldwide sport.
No, it's a good point. I'm just thinking you probably could convert the play site to handle it. You know?
I also like the certain level of gentleman's play, you know, that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I think is very rare in other sports.
I agree with you.
The replay. You're right. Oh, good eye. Not sure I would have let that go, but maybe that's why I'm sitting here. But you're right about that, Jason. We do kind of promote most of the great shot. He's there, almost. Kind of a good vibe out there.
Yeah, there's a culture around it that I think is a little bit more. I mean, we played a couple of lets in a match a couple days ago, and there was no hard feelings about it. It just was, you know, a couple of balls that were really close calls,
What a kid.
and we decided, you know, be on the safe side and just take it again. You don't see that in a lot of other sports.
And I
tell
think
you.
too, you know, tennis, you got that tough mentality growing up as a kid.
Oh man, it's
So
brutal.
competitive, and as adults, right? Maybe cooler heads prevail, and we didn't grow up calling the lines. And
Right.
I think it adds to your point about it being just a niche little sport. You know, keep it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had a split sets over there on court 4.
Oh, going 3, huh?
I think
Cool.
they're going 3.
Wow,
hands.
great hands from Teddy here.
There's that counter to that tennis element, right?
Yep.
Clark and Chris were up at the net. They get out of the scramble. Sitting
dig.
back here and fighting.
Another thing I noticed, just at the higher levels, and I'm not knocking anybody for a weak lob. I hit plenty of them. What a get.
Jeez.
Speed.
Oh,
Unreal.
wow.
Go, go, go. Oh,
Jeez.
unbelievable point.
Lots of digging. Yeah, I would be frustrated with that error too.
That's the
I
one
could
you
have
missed.
taken a bus
That's
to get
the-
that ball.
I mean, if you got all the other ones, I mean, that last one kind of sat up, if we're totally honest.
Almost a letdown after that point.
Advantage Westmo.
They dug out of a 30-40
They
hole there.
did, yeah,
Impressive.
to go up 3-1 in the second set.
They've been in control the second set.
Yeah, they seem to find their rhythm a little bit. They looked a little more balanced at the net on the last couple of points as well.
You made the comment earlier, they just kind of settled down the first couple games, and the end of a set usually gets a little tense, and they've relaxed and stayed with it.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
What do you think
Coach.
it is
Go ahead.
that is the reason behind so many matches in the world of paddle having like a tiebreaker in the first set and then a 6-1 second set? Like, you think it's just a letdown in focus that, goes along with whether you win or lose? It just seems like there's just so many circumstances where that's the case.
Yeah, I think that again, as adults, we have a tendency to overcorrect a lot of times.
Right.
So we win a set, we let off. And the flip side happens. You lose a set, you take a little of the pressure off, you relax a little bit more, within yourself and play within yourself a little bit more. And that's where you get that flip-flop a lot of the time. It is amazing, the swings that you get in this game as opposed to a lot of other sports. Which, again, I love that mental aspect of it.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. It seems at the higher levels you will see a flip-flop quicker sometimes. And the only reason I say that is because having played much lower level paddle, let's just be frank about it, boys.
You think it's more consistent?
Well, my point is the idea of I should just see somebody from a lower level thinking they lost the first set. What we're going to have to do to grind to get back in this match,
right,
is not something maybe they're willing to go through with.
I'm not excited about this.
Exactly.
I'll just swing away and wait for the next one. That kind of mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it does happen.
I see a lot more grinding, obvious grinding at Series 2, Series 1, Series 3.
I think, if I may jump in there,
Go ahead.
a part of it is the skill set, but I also think the biggest difference is the mindset about your skill set. To say, instead of what do I have to do to win the match, you're saying, what did I do that we did not win? We lost the first set.
Good point. Good point.
Right.
So instead of trying to do too much and do more, you back it off a little bit, right?
Nice
or
touch.
Change your strategy.
No, absolutely. And in fact, what as an offshoot to that, and you mentioned Spencer Caravaggio earlier, she's fond of saying in a practice, it's not even so much what's good for you, but it might be good for your team, but also what's bad for the other team. What works, even if it's not something that's comfortable for you, it's what's not comfortable for the other team.
Right. It's just all over that net right now. Just lots of winning volleys from Tom's paddle.
Well, Sean, you just said it, right? The drive might be the right drive, but if Tom's sitting there to hit a volley,
Exactly.
it's not the right drive.
It's almost like he's baiting him, which happens quite regularly, especially guys that have great hands.
Yeah, well, they volley well, right?
Yep.
And sometimes we have to think what feels good in hitting a ball is going to be completely the wrong decision.
Bingo. Nice dig.
Mine. Mine. Mine.
I think your comment, Matt, about them tightening up at the net, look at how calm they are.
Yeah, they're just in
Ted's
position
got a
every
rhythm.
time.
Ted's got a
No
rhythm.
part of it looks like they're jumping all over the place. Their feet are on the deck every time someone's touching the ball. That's the only way you're going to win a point with everybody in position.
And you just live with that. I mean,
Right.
that's,
Right.
you did everything right.
Yep, that could be a momentum shifter right there.
Well, obviously I'm biased, but Clark and Chris need a momentum shift here for sure.
they do a little bit. You know what? It is interesting to see too, just in terms of styles, how you can have sprint, that like sprint paddle, right, where you're playing fast and you're moving a ton and you're hitting a lot of drives, can so easily go awry. Just, I mean, even though it feels like it feels good, to move around like that and be aggressive, but just all of a sudden it just can stop working.
Well, you got to decide as a player, would you rather feel good for that 1 second to hit the ball, or would you rather feel good for the entire week after winning the
I
match?
say that all the time. Not in that way, but I do say that the world of paddle is so difficult because you have to decide if you want to win or if you want to hit a cool shot. Those are your two options, right? And like if you're going to be like, oh, I want to hit the cool shot, then like you're not going to win very much. Because you have to do so many of them in a row in order to win a match. It's probably not going to happen.
That's so much more true in paddle. Because you could say the same thing about tennis players. However, it's probably even more true where paddle's concerned, because the more chances you take, generally, the more the tougher it is.
Sorry, that's got to be an ad game for Teddy and Tom now.
That's where the captains of these teams, right, men and women, they have such a tough task of pairing their players up to decide, you know, are you going to have the traditional model of a more aggressive player and a consistent player?
Yeah.
You're going to roll the dice and
Yeah.
throw two
Throw a
horse
couple
race cars
alphas
out
out
there.
there. Yeah, right.
See what happens.
I would say also paddle versus tennis, the speeds of drives, and I should say the way you change speeds on a drive, you could probably get away with a lot more driving in paddle. Where in tennis, I'm not saying you don't change speeds, but it's not as maybe as obvious.
Right. Wow, that is a.
Talk about baiting
He
somebody.
had no intention of staying at the net there. He was entirely looking for that
He
opportunity.
had one foot outside the sideline.
Yeah.
Don't force it.
Yeah, we actually, it's funny because we got a Series 4 team with my guys at Lakeshore, and I love them to death, but there's a couple of guys that cannot play together, or the timers on the lights will turn off before the match finishes, because that's just their style. And so, like, you know, they're very consistent, but they just don't bring any offense ever. And so they win a lot of matches, but it takes 3.5 hours.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, those old school paddle guys, they'll grind you out.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, they have great records every year and they do well, but we can't put them together or we will never be able to. They'll have to finish every match on Friday afternoon.
You hear comments from the coach, "Stop it!"
You know it's bad when as a pro on Sunday morning during practice I'm out there yelling, "Do something!"
They just bore people to submission.
Yeah, I mean they lob well and they poke drives and it's all about the kind of finesse and they never hit a ball hard.
Guys, it's only an hour and a half practice.
Yeah, guys, we don't have this kind of time.
But they've only had one rally.
Right, yeah. We've been warming up for 41 minutes. Same ball.
You guys just carry him to match play over there. Just start going.
Yeah.
Little change here.
Tough. That is
I think I jinxed him.
probably not the serve. He was.
They finally had a game point, their first game point in a set.
The other thing that Westmo has done here in the second set that is noticeable is they are just hitting higher quality lobs. I mean, they're not putting everything deep in the court except for right there because I said it out loud.
Of course.
But a great dig, nonetheless.
Oh.
Oh, going for the glory.
Hey, if you're not gonna try to drop that one. Yeah, I gotta put the first one away. That out.
Good dig.
Oh yeah. Unbelievable.
Wow, great pick.
Lot of
No
points.
way.
Great move on both teams there. And this is something that I always notice in my own personal game, how I struggle a little bit with that first temperature drop is I always feel in that first match where it's like 32 degrees that I'm just lobbing everything short. Like it's just that little, you know, you spent the first part of the season trying not to nuke a ball over the back screen
Yeah.
by barely touching it. And then all of a sudden you hit true paddle weather and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I got to kind of put something extra on the lob here to.
It's so true, Matt. I mean, it's no excuse for good fundamentals, right? That we
Yeah.
we say so many
Yeah,
times,
absolutely.
right?
You also find yourself letting drives go that fall,
The die in the back screen.
Yeah,
all of a sudden. Yeah,
what
right.
the heck is going on?
You're like, I
That was
thought
supposed
for
to be
sure
long.
that was going to be.
Can we erase that?
Yeah, it's no problem. I'll take that off.
I think Chris's parents are watching, so that
Well, they're aware of who he is as a person. It's fine. It's not that big a deal.
We're not even sure it was him. So
No,
be
yeah,
fair,
again,
sorry,
we can
my
be picking
fault.
up.
shouldn't have done that.
I mean, we've got 28 viewers, so.
yeah, and it's a shotgun, Mike. There's like 12 guys out there. That could have
Back
come
to
from
deuce.
a gun range for all we know.
It's a good
Hands.
volley. That's a little
Just
wide.
missed it.
They have really slowed it down, to your point, and they're only
Yeah.
driving balls that they know they can get to the guy who's off the net,
Yeah.
making Clark and Chris really have to sit and think about this
Oh,
That's-
match.
The first one that Teddy has missed in that situation, he was doing such a good job just pushing that ball down the line, and he just tried to hold that one too long, tried to make it too good.
It really does happen every time you say how
Yeah.
good some part of someone's game is.
Yeah, no, we're great at it. In fact, I bet we could actually turn a match on its head if all we did was sit out here and compliment one team. It'd be done. It'd be 2-2 in about 40 minutes.
DraftKings investigation of some kind.
Jay, when you get out there, we'll make sure to only compliment your opponents.
Please, because
okay?
last time
Yeah.
I think, well, we won't talk about what happened, but someone did make a comment that it was talked about how many games we lost in a row. But
It was, just as a really more of a demonstration, though.
That was that intern that we
Thanks
fired.
for getting
Yeah.
my email and and doing it, for the viewers.
thank you. You're welcome.
I don't even
Anytime.
remember what that intern's name is that we fired. That was making those comments. Jason.
I don't even think he lives in the state anymore.
No, we banished him. Oh yeah.
Yeah, good stretch. Just a hair aggressive.
A lot more passion.
All right, must be another game point opportunity here.
Yeah, they need this one.
Yeah, good. This is a long service game. And they got
Wow.
it. 2-5.
Digging their way back.
Yeah. Now you can, they definitely have the paddle is a sport where you can grind it out, right? Like being down 5-1 in the world of tennis is, close to a death sentence, but in the world of paddle, that's just, a momentum shift.
Well, famous Andre Agassi strategy, right? Back in the 90s. You're down 4-0 or 4-1. You just tank that set.
Right.
Start stretching for the next.
Yeah, and just move on to the next one. I was going to say that I actually think it has huge value in the world of paddle, even if you don't end up being able to turn a set around, to just not let it be another game in a row
Yeah.
that you've, just to be able to break it up and.
Sure.
The snowball theory is real.
Yes.
And
Yes.
to stop that ball rolling down the hill and just really get yourself back and figuring out what it is you need to right the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. There's something else that happens at this level that we on the court don't advocate all the time. Coach Jason, it's swinging the ball a lot.
It's funny. I was just going to say that there was 6 consecutive overheads to 6 consecutive different sides of the court.
Right. That's one that I feel like is, when I have students that are like gonna watch a tournament or a live stream or that kind of thing, I'm often like, okay, but just watch one player and how they strike the ball. Don't necessarily watch so much where shots are going, because there's just that's a big level difference in how much of the court you have to play at this level.
And whoever's hitting the shot, watch their partner because they shift
Yeah,
to
right.
adjust
I mean,
to which side of the court the ball
yeah,
is on.
you can hit the ball all over the place when you're constantly in the right position, but
Correct.
that's something that so many people struggle with, which is why we as pros don't advocate moving it around that much. Make your life easy. Don't work so hard.
I remember my dad at a young age telling me, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
constant mantra.
And I don't want to be moving that far if I don't have to.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I don't tell
That's
that
a
to my
cool
kids because I want
return.
them to be busy and just be doing other things. So I don't need them having any extra time.
Tell you that return.
All right, 40-30.
Let's see if Clark tries that again.
Couple
Little
of
saber
set points
action
here.
off that last one.
Said I like that. Being aggressive.
No.
It's tough going up the line like that.
And there is a second set going to Westmoreland. Split. 6-4 in the first set to Glenview,
Well, we
and
can't
6-2 in the second set to
Can't say the fans
Westmoreland.
aren't getting their money's worth.
No, they definitely are
a
getting
good
their
match.
money's worth.
Guys, I've really loved being here.
You're going to have to
Jason,
go
thank
play
you.
on
You
the
know what?
open court,
I'm
aren't
getting
you?
flagged from the other court, which I'm sad to say, or happy to say, because the last time I was the marquee match, we didn't do so well.
That's
But,
all right. Don't worry
but yeah,
about it.
So, but maybe this match will still be going on, and I could come back and finish and
Yeah,
commentate.
that'd be awesome.
The
Yeah.
plan is Nick and I win so fast that we're done.
Yeah, that'll be great. Well, come back and have a beer with us after you finish up.
Absolutely, Jason.
Thank you so
Good
much
luck,
for
Jason.
having me, guys.
Good
I really,
luck out
I
there.
really
Absolutely,
had a
it's fun.
great time.
Thanks for
It was really fun.
thanks for hosting, and we really appreciate Glenview and everything they do for the paddle community.
Absolutely.
100%.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, we got a third set coming up here. We're going to take a quick break for Illinois Bone and Joint, and we'll be right back.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
Okay.
All right, so we're back. And better than ever.
Back and better. Sean, I got to tell you that this is one of my favorite situations. You and me announcing a paddle match, going into a third set. Couple of guys grinding it out. Thursday night.
Yes.
Got an event tomorrow. Got a turkey shoot tomorrow.
That's right.
That's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun, Coach. I'm looking forward to that. We seem to have a pretty good crew for that, I would imagine.
Yeah, we got 12.
Awesome.
12 players for that one.
Phenomenal.
Pretty solid for a little daytime action.
Looks like we're right back into
All right,
the third here.
Here we go. Set number 3.
The tray. I think we call it the tray. I'm just making that up. We
I
don't call
love it. Welcome to set tray.
Oh, yeah. Some accurate overheads.
Yep.
I mean, like nick area, even if it isn't the nick. Not to be cliched about it, but the first game's going to.
Ooh, just a little wide. Well, that's a sign for how the rest of the set's gonna go. That's let chords all day for the rest of the day. It'll just be flipping a coin.
That's a great volley.
On every point.
Let chord extravaganza. I think I've never used that. I haven't used that word.
Let chord extravaganza. You know, so few things are worthy of being called an extravaganza.
It's true.
But I think we should start using it for more mundane things. What's going on? How was your morning? Oh, I'm good. I was just having a protein shake. Extravaganza.
Where were you? I was in the locker room extravaganza this morning. And it was spectacular. I always like the sense of urgency footwork-wise when a third set starts, especially in the first game.
Yeah.
It gets tight.
Yep.
Nobody's given up yet. At least on my level, that's the way. I'm really pleased with my partner moving his feet. Like, wow.
I think that would be the name of my autobiography. Always giving up, the Matt McClure story. I think that's 1540.
Just have a supervisor right now that would, as a golfer, he would say that if we hit a ball, mishit a ball, and it was like we'd hit a fat shot or something, he would say, "Oh, the conservative Albrecht."
Always laying up.
Exactly.
My dad used to say that too. Don't worry, we'll edit that out. We'll edit that out of the stream.
Right. It's all right. You know, we probably should issue a disclaimer. Either that or I've just got to be quicker with the... See, here we go. Shotgun mic on.
With the
shotgun mic off.
There you go.
Mic. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of like the background noise, though.
No, you got to have that.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that. And...
It's like you're there, Coach.
It's like the stream is right there.
Exactly.
Right next to the courts. Hopefully not licking the screen.
Anymore, anyway.
Not again.
No more IPAs.
Not after that first time.
No. Yeah, it's the magic stream.
Not again. My brother went through this phase where he kept mixing it up, and my favorite was that after he would do something mundane, task-wise, if somebody would say something, he would say, "As the prophecy has foretold." It was awesome.
That's hilarious.
Kevin, will you bring me the pizza cutter? As the prophecy has foretold.
That's way funnier than "This is all according to my plan." It's all going to. That's way funnier.
All right,
so we did get a game here.
All right, 1-0.
Yes.
Westmoreland.
But still a ball game.
I like it that we catch a little strategy session, too, because of the perfect placement of the shotgun mic by Sean, the Yellow Dart Albrecht. Great drop shot there by Davis.
I just think that maybe, anything with me that is yellow is a tribute to my cowardice.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
Well, it's okay if you did, because most people do. So it's obvious that Teddy and Tom have continued their momentum and their rhythm. It's obvious. Well, that was a great shot.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is up until that moment, what they had really done successfully is they were just doing less with their overheads.
Exactly.
They weren't trying to hit balls into corners with rollers all the time. They just started to smooth everything out and hit their targets, and it just seemed to kind of turn their direction a little bit.
No question.
And actually, a great shot opportunity there from Clark. He was converting so many of those shots in the first set, and probably because Teddy and Tom were putting more on their overhead. So it was
question.
bouncing a little higher and giving him a little more to work with, but it just seemed to not quite be giving as many opportunities.
Just smart adjustment.
Yeah.
That's really what it came down to.
Just a
look at
great
that.
overhead.
Super
What a
shot.
dig.
He's a good athlete.
Yep. Great
I think
cover as well. And then he can close back in and get in formation. Another thing that these players do so well is just like, you know, you might be able to get them out of position for a shot, but in transition or in recovery,
Right.
they just get, I mean, they get back to playing their role and communicate as to where they are on the court. Oh, going after the jumping slap backhand. I like the slap shot opportunity, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad opportunity to drive, but sometimes you got to play the score. It's choking me up, Coach. Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Look at
good
that,
cover.
Good cover. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit
A
down.
little
Oh.
wide. All right, that's another,
That's another
game
game.
there.
So let's just see if Chris and Clark can break the momentum a little bit. Not that I'm rooting for him, but
Yeah,
people want to see more.
people want
paddle.
to see more paddle. Man, my elbow is killing me. You know, I'm the only guy that can watch a paddle match and get hurt. Now that I think about it, I was in a weird position with, you know, leaning on the desk while we were watching this last match, and now my elbow's all flared up. Just from watching these guys hit cut overheads, I'm injured.
Don't worry, I got the turkey shoot tomorrow, Coach. Don't worry.
Okay, great. That was one where I was really planning to play in as hard as I could, so I'm glad that you're willing to take that one with the ladies series 6 team.
Everybody's going to leave, but I'll be happy to do it.
I think they would enjoy it.
So,
You know what?
Yes.
I mean, this is funny, but in going back to that reference earlier where we were talking about you being too nice, we did a drill this week with the ladies. Do you remember this one where we really tried to crush returns? Like we tried
Yes.
to hit hard returns
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
had said that they were struggling with
Yes.
players who return the ball really hard.
yes.
And so as pros, I was like, you know what? We can stand out here and just crack a bunch of returns. Wow, this is a great point.
It is awesome.
And as we were in the middle of that drill, I thought to myself, I bet Sean's not hitting his return hard enough.
And you know what? You're right.
Because you're too nice.
I can't.
You
I
were-
just can't do it.
I am absolutely willing to smoke a ball through the middle to like try to get somebody to learn how to volley or how to let the ball go or make
Yeah,
a transition.
yeah.
And I bet you were just kind of laying
Yeah.
it up there.
Yeah, I've got, no guts. Sorry. My insurance premiums are too high is really what it is.
I thought the best was when I announced that drill and we did the demo. Spencer was like, finally.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, great
we should
point.
just call it the Caravaggio drill. That's just South Carolina, Spencer Caravaggio.
Chance for her to warm up for a tournament too.
Smack. Yeah, she's laser show. That's what I call her now.
Laser show.
Yeah, when she gets rolling, that thing's moving. Yeah, I don't want to get any. I want no part of that. All right. Well, at least you're up 40 love. You're gonna miss that volley.
40-15.
Shit.
A little deep. That's game. All right, so they're in the set.
Yeah, on the
That was
board.
just what they needed to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit. They just were able to work in there and keep it consistent. No faults.
No. It's tough to match the rhythm when you can see that, another team's in sync and kind of rolling.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, there you go again.
could have been
The
the momentum
commentators'
shift
jinx.
that we've destroyed everyone's rhythm,
That's right.
and they didn't even know it.
Everyone's got their money on Tom and Teddy. Are like, would you shut up, Sean?
You know, it's interesting because I always joke about that kind of stuff. But there are people out there that think that they can like affect the outcome of a match if they
You mean
like.
they can't?
No, I mean like if they're not playing.
Oh, I see.
You
what
know,
mean. Yeah,
like there's always that weirdo that's like the Cubs lost because I washed my underwear. Like it just doesn't make. I mean, like how self-absorbed do you have to be to think that on television you have anything to do with anything? This is a fascinating element. The sports gods care about my routine. It's kind of like, okay, whatever.
Of course they do.
I'm totally fine with it if you're the one competing, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I should mention that, like, if you've got guys that are like, whatever.
Sure.
The Blackhawks are like, we're not going to shave as long as we're on a winning streak. Like, fine, you do
that.
you.
Yeah, I get that too. I just, and I do believe that ghosts have stolen our cameras.
We are missing a couple of cameras, so if anybody happens to see them in the Chicagoland area,
Especially
you
if
can
there's a ghost in the
return
vicinity.
them.
Just ask the ghost if there's a camera to it.
That's all right. I'll bring it up with our intern. He's not going to enjoy that invoice.
No. I thought ghosts only stole luggage anyway.
There's lots of things.
Any interest
It's
in
luggage.
cameras?
It's apparently luggage, socks from the dryer, and Marshall lipstick cameras are the three things.
Oh,
All right, deuce game. We're in a battle.
this may be crucial too. Just means that. Oh, look at that. That'll
That's a
work
great
out.
move. That's a great move from Clark out of the corner there.
This is a big point. Either to pull even or.
Advantage, Glenview. Little hesitant on that screen drive.
Yeah, I was thinking he was going to rip that one.
That's what third sets feel like. A little hesitant on the screen drive. Such a great overhead from
that.
Teddy. So balanced.
That's part of the prophecy, Coach, right
As the prophecy has foretold. I think it was especially funny because it was my little brother, where I was like, we don't have any prophecies. Where is middle class?
there. You have them in your. You have them if you believe you have them. I think is the lesson for us
Right,
all.
yeah, exactly.
Back to deuce. It is a battle. Oh, you knew that was coming. Of course, if you have that kind of speed, he's there. I guess you can get away with some of those drives.
Those guys are fast.
I know, because there's no way I would have even hit that short a drive.
Chris Williams is on roller skates, though. I should have mentioned that
He
earlier.
is- yeah. It's not like Clark's slow.
Like Jason said, not officially disallowed in the rules of paddle yet. You are still allowed to wear
Oh,
roller skates. Wow, great
That did
touch.
not come up for
Great
air.
touch from Teddy. That
That
thing
was.
just absolutely died. And I'm with Chris on that one. I would also be looking at the screen thinking that perhaps
Come
that ball
on, man,
kicked
yeah.
off of a
Defective,
seam
yeah,
or
right, true.
a dent in the screen or
Somebody fixed that.
I don't know, anything that's not my
There's
my
no
fault.
question about it. I refuse to assume responsibility for that stuff.
That's the best overhead that they've hit to get back into this match is that one right there. Just the opportunity to attack and passing on it so that they could hit a mesmerizer down the middle, which causes just a little bit of a late reaction. Uh-oh.
Still not. It's still not.
Good cut.
Look at this. some depth on him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you know what? Tom is playing such a precision game right now where he's driving the ball, but he's not putting anything on it other than making them volley.
Right.
And that can just wear you down,
Sure.
right? To the point where sometimes you've already made the volley in your head,
Yes.
and then you have already moved on to the next shot, and all of a sudden you've missed
Right.
a basic volley because you're like, wait a minute, I just did that
It was
40
a lot
times in a
slower.
row.
That
Yeah, how
changeup
did
was a problem.
how did I blow it? Kind of feeling.
Oh, that's a great drive from Ted.
Yep,
Wow. Field goal.
great ball.
And the
I think 15
extra
all.
point from Buclemont
Yeah,
is up, and
15
it
all.
is good.
Teddy Buclemont. I'm butchering that. He's gonna watch the stream later and be like, "Come on, man."
Well, then I must be butchering it too, because I'm just trying to do an impression of how
You're just doing an impression of me.
of pronouncing it. Yes, that's it. Nice step on that lob. Yes.
See, such a smart
Oh.
overhead there from Chris to take the first one down the middle again. He had Tom shift to the side because he was concerned about getting attacked at the corner, and then he
Right.
took it down the middle and waited till he was out of position before attacking the corner. Slick move there.
Hit! Hit! Fine. Hit! Hit! Mine.
Some super resets.
Yeah, good hands. See, that's one, I think, right there that Teddy set up on the screen drive as though it was warmer, right?
Yes.
And so he was like, wow, I'm going to get a chance to swing at this one. And then all of a sudden it came out at net level, and he had to slow it way down.
way.
Great shot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You know what I
Probably
mean?
Later on in the
Like,
season,
yeah.
he probably wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, that was just a ball that it's just a colder weather ball. Because that's what he was trying. That's what he was looking for right there,
Sure.
was that higher ball off the screen. Oh, that's tough. Little power failure on that one. All right, 3-2.
Hanging,
In a
staying
battle.
there.
Westmoreland with the lead, 3 serving 2.
And the gallery's seeing more paddle, Coach. So.
And
Stick with it. What am I doing? Lobs are working. Huh? What am I doing this return? I don't. If you have it, swing. If not, we're doing fine on the lob.
And the constant communication for strategy, too.
yeah.
What's that all about? I say nothing to my partner. I don't know what.
Sean, is it when I play with you, you just don't want to talk to me? Is that what it is? That's it. We're in a fight.
Again, I go to the Russian. And just turn people off. Not there's anything wrong with Russian. Beautiful language. I'm just saying.
dealing with this. There it is.
Diggins. No diggity. There's plenty of diggity there. Yeah, I like to get the urban contemporary references in every so often. Can I say that?
Yeah, I think we should really be pulling more stuff from Urban Dictionary. We wouldn't be able to repeat any of it on stream, but, just for our own edification.
Nice.
Great dig.
It's a nice touch.
Yep.
I thought that was going to die more than
Great
that.
lob.
Go. I'll go.
That's tough.
Schlick.
Yep. Good touch.
Good cover.
Nice move. Yeah. Right back in action. That right there is an error that gets caused by Tom making a great shift to cover the court.
Yes.
Right? And so he slides over to do his job and try to stop a drive, knowing that his partner's off the net, and then Clark just goes for a little extra angle to get around him, and all of a sudden there's no court there.
Right, you can make a case for him almost baiting him into trying to hit something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, in fact, I would argue that really good teams do things like that, where when somebody's hitting a kind of a deeper overhead, they might actually put a little more air under it
Sure.
to try to get somebody to pull the trigger on a ball that maybe you shouldn't. And
Sure.
if you've got somebody who's volleying as well as Tom is right now, you kind of want people to drive. Like, you kind of want
Sure
him
do.
volleying because he's
Bring it on, yeah.
he's shutting down a lot of shots, and he's hitting a lot of drop shot winners. And
No look.
oh, Teddy
it's gonna be-
showtime, little short. Oh, bummer. And it bounced into his body on the transition up to the net. One of the rare instances where somebody is too fast,
Yes.
right? Where
Yeah.
you're like, hey, slow down.
You cut it in a
If you
certain
run
way
any
that it
faster,
bounces- yeah,
you will
yeah.
go back in time, as the prophecy has foretold.
What a shot. You know what? It's going to get more mileage out of that one. But I think the way he cut it, he didn't necessarily just completely put some underspin on the ball, kind of kicked.
Yeah, no, he definitely thought that it was going to bounce straight backwards, and it kicked to the side.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
That's my favorite. That's the angle I like the
Yeah, you
most.
don't get, it's not the, I don't know, it's kind of like well, to use to coin a phrase out here, a snowflake, it's, you never hit the same one twice, when you, like a miss hit almost. Not that he mishit it because he hit a beautiful shot, but
Just a great
Okay, that
spot.
was a
Just a
great
great spot
And-
right there
and
from
to
Tom.
To your point, not any harder than a certain amount. Little toss on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no.
Pretty much a roller, kind of a snap roll.
Yeah, but just following the basics of paddle, and that volleying is hard when you have to stretch, right?
Sure.
Balls in your strike zone are comfortable and can even turn into maybe even an offensive volley or kind of a counter punch, but like you get somebody to stretch or lean, it's a little tougher.
Absolutely. There's this moon shot. You know what? You can
Moon
just tell
shot.
You get it up above the lights. Even at this level, sometimes you just lose it for just a second,
Yeah,
and you really don't have a key on that overhead. Next thing you know, you miss it long. And a lesson for us all.
the Mississippi moonball, as Coach Paget Neve would call it occasionally. Even more impressive when he would say it out loud before he hit the lob. Mississippi moonball.
Sounds like a superhero.
He's a
cartoon.
weirdo.
Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding.
That is super tough break
That's the
there.
prophecy foretelling right there.
Yeah, the
You get that many lead courts here.
lead court action.
It's God wants the Cubs to win the pennant. Here,
Good
Clark.
hands.
Look
Great
at this
transition.
stick. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Clark that's impressive.
Yep.
How quick is
There
this
it is
guy? Look at
again.
this dude.
Nice pick. It's just too
Oh.
good. It's too good. Great digs, but not quite enough.
So on the brink here are Ted and Tom.
Instead of going and getting those court one guys, I think maybe we should just have these guys play a 4-set. What do you think?
I'll get out there and request that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "You want us to come over?" And I'm like, "No, I think we should. We've got
Yeah.
all the entertainment we can handle for the evening."
Uh-oh. I was going to say I thought it was going to even be a harder roll, but probably perfect pace. I would have missed it, obviously.
I would have missed it. That's what I like to do. Now, when I'm up 5-2, I like to lose a couple games to really keep everyone nervous. That's usually my go-to.
Awesome. Awesome.
That is a tough drive location right there from
Say-
Chris.
He went behind him and-
Inside out to the shift to the middle, using a very small part of the court.
Exactly.
It was well played.
I thought Tom did well. Just get his paddle on that ball because he was going the other direction.
Oh, and a
Here we
lead
go.
cord. Here comes the momentum shift. That's all it takes is 2 balls.
Rather not touch that one, Coach.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it.
I apologize for everybody at home for that. If you got it. If you didn't get it, I don't apologize at all.
Then I'm not sorry. It's your fault, and I'm not sorry. Good ball.
There it is again.
Yeah, he's really finding the groove on that backhand.
Little scissor kick. That's some style.
Chris really has that shot. I mean, his backhand is really, it's a good, heavy ball. I think that there was a chance in middle of the second set where he might have overplayed 1 or 2, and he kind of put it back in his bag for a little while, but it is really a strong ball for him.
And you would say that just from a coaching standpoint, always good to be able to pull something like that out, even if you aren't completely
good
successful,
ball.
just to show somebody you do have that shot, so they have to respect it.
Yeah, I actually coach it that way. I call them investment shots.
Oh, yeah.
Where there are
Great.
moments where it's like, you know what, you have to return a ball down the line in the first few games just so that somebody thinks about where it could go.
Return from
Yeah,
Clark.
great ball.
That thing just dipped.
15-40, I think, here. Chance to stay in this match. Yeah, but you got to do a couple of non-traditional things just to make sure that people have to play the entire court. And if you don't do it, then they don't, you know, there's never a reason for them to make an adjustment. There's a
great
game
point.
there.
Clawing their way
3
back.
serving 5, chance to stay in it. So you have to, I think that at a minimum you have to hit some returns down the line. I think you have to hit a few lobs down the line on your return just to make sure that somebody can't just camp out on the net. I think you have to hit a couple of overheads real hard at the corner to see how a team reacts, you know, just so that there's some concern there that it's a possibility. Otherwise, you just make people play, you know, they don't have to cover, they don't have to play the full court.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Coach. There's a kind of a parallel from the tennis court. I know this sounds kind of weird, but there were times where I've had coaches. You know, one coach, he was great
return,
awesome,
has a
rip on that one. Tom just reeling back.
Real heavy ball there.
That was really nice.
Kind of unexpected because he had kind of been rolling his returns into court with a little more height, and that one was flatter and level.
But there are times when you'll actually play a point out just to get educated on what's going to happen in terms of a tendency. I remember I had an old tennis coach who would played for Northwestern, Tommy Benezra, awesome guy and great coach, really
That's too
cerebral
good.
coach. But anyway, we talk about things in cerebral ways where I almost could have sworn he said, "Listen, just go to the net and just see what he does. Don't even, you know, you're not even going to try to even return the ball. You're just watching."
Right, yeah.
And after a while, you literally educate yourself, get the book, and because tendencies are, everybody has them. You know, so you're going to see produce the same shot that most people are comfortable with. At this level, you'll see a lot of variety. So maybe you don't see quite as many, but there's still, you know, everybody still has a tendency, depending on what shot they're hitting. So to be more educated about your opponent is to be, what a touch. Again, Clark coming up with some athletic touch there on that backhand volley. Impressive. Yeah, that's 2 key winners from Clark.
Great move, nice coverage.
Nice. Just wide. I think it was. Yeah.
Agreed.
Close, but no Tipperillo, as they say. That's really old image and phraseology.
Who?
Somebody out there. It's actually close with no cigar, but I couldn't say cigar. I just wanted to use something other than cigar.
Oh.
Synonym. Tipperillo is an old, I don't even know if they make those anymore. I sure don't smoke them anymore. But
As the prophecy has foretold.
let's just put that on a hot button.
I'm just gonna change the name of the stream.
We'll put that on a hot button for the mixer here. Just
Yeah, next week for week 9 or whatever it is, whatever club we end up at, I'm just gonna give the names of the teams as the prophecy is foretold. That's
you could also put some little musical track behind it as the prophecy.
I probably should.
is
We need to
foretold.
start using the soundboard more.
You know it. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
good
great
play.
playing.
And that's the 6th ball to be lost here on the courts.
It's kind of cool to be near the parking lot. That way you can kind of see where
That
they go.
was first point, yes?
I believe it was.
Excellent.
You
That
know,
one
I'm not
just
sure
did
Ted
not
has
come
missed
out.
a serve.
No, he's really been on lock with that with his underhand with
Yeah.
that roller serve.
Not only that, he's definitely up the tee on the ad side. Just
You know what
like-
else is cool to see about that is he's just not trying to do that much with it.
Nope.
I mean, he's rolling it in there,
Yeah.
and he's not swinging so
shot.
fast where it feels like it's a
Right, perfect pace.
yeah.
He's getting in comfortably.
Yeah, which I think can be the threat of that serve, right? When you start missing it, you start trying to like do extra or make the ball jump. It's not
Absolutely.
designed to do that. It's
Nope.
just designed to stay lower than the average serve. And if you can find your groove on it and keep it kind of that medium speed, it can work out really well.
Took that off the,
Little deep, nice
Gosh.
try.
That was a really good dig off the nick, too, from Chris. And did probably deserve better than that, but such is the prophecy. So I just thought I'd throw it in there. Sit.
I can't wait for them to remake Ghostbusters again.
Oh!
Oh, the dribbler.
You would think we'd get the. Can I talk about the home court advantage again, Coach?
What is the home court advantage, Sean? And how does it work? And why don't I ever seem to get it?
Yeah, because I was going to say, technically, it didn't work in the in Glenview's favor there.
Go. Mine.
It's good, Dev. Awesome. I say awesome just because I'm imagining the circle there that we draw on the court for the practices, and they basically hit it, every time on the reset, like that. Perfect cue.
Go. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. I'll go.
That's tough.
Amazing.
It's a tough dig.
Go.
And the buffet is going to be open late tonight here.
That's a
What
great
a
match. Well played right there.
And that's only fair that the match point would be like that.
Yeah. 4-6, 6-2, 6-4. Westmoreland takes this one. Teddy Bouclemont and Tom Davis. Chris and Clark played really well.
They did.
Yep, well done on both sides. We're going to take a quick break here as we get the other match to come over from Court 4 where they've been warming up, or perhaps even started, depending on the length of this long three-setter.
Yeah.
And we will jump back in with you shortly. Okay, so we are back here with our Court 1 match that has already started on the other court. I am pretty sure that it is 2 serving 5 based on what these guys told me as they came across, and that was our first point of the always important game number 8. See if I can catch a score here in this game. I'm going to call it 15-all based on what I've seen. Paul Rose with the monster backhand over there in the ad side, and Ben McKnight, his partner in black, up at the net. And then over here on this side for Westmoreland, Dave Bukowski making the switch to the ad side. And then Stu Bradley on the deuce side in the blue hat for Westmo. That is a great rip from Stu there. I think it's 40-15. Do my best here in the transition as everybody switched courts around and we got it started. You'll see over here from Glenview that both Ben and Paul have monster backhand drives. Not that their forehand is any slouch, but backhand is kind of their go-to. Yeah, I'm correct. So 40 serving 30 here. And one of the things you'll see, just a minor difference in the style of these players, but every ball is going to get called. When a lob goes up, there's just not going to be any quiet communication from Glenview. They just are going to stay on top of that piece of the puzzle. Great lob to put the arc over Stu there, cause a little transition. Good pick. Stu, such a grinder.
All that communication, Coach, I mean, that's just too much effort. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
It always makes me nervous when people talk that much on the court.
Yes. No, I'm kidding, of course. It's awesome. So we're waiting another 8 minutes for your order, Coach.
You mean my chicken sandwich isn't finished?
Right. Yeah.
Unacceptable.
I think there's something else.
That's okay. It'll put us in. Oh, that is too bad. Saw an opportunity to keep him on the stretch. Just a little too much angle. All right, so set point here for Paul and Ben.
Great finish.
And not
Nice
the way
drive.
they wanted that first set to go, but 6-2 in the first for Paul and Ben. Little extra adrenaline as they move over to the live stream court because, you know, everybody's just excited to be on camera.
There's no question about
That's
it.
just what it comes down to.
You can always blame it on the moving the courts if you don't play well.
Yeah, exactly. I think
After you
that
move.
whichever team loses this match is squarely going to fall on the shoulders of the CPTC live stream. They're taking a quick bathroom break, so that's going to give us a chance to go to Illinois Bone and Joint real quick, and we'll be back for the second set shortly.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
And we're back.
Hanging out till 11. The way we like it.
11 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact, I figure we'll just go from here to the turkey shoot.
So one of the things that I did think would be fun as we got going was there is a USO event that they run at Westmoreland, or at least it started at Westmoreland, and it is it's like a, what do you call it? A marathon. It's a paddle marathon, is what they call it. And they try to book 24 hours of court time, and then they, end up giving a substantial donation to the USO, which I think is pretty cool. And that is one of the things that I did kind of target as a possible live stream opportunity, because it's just something that Chicago does that's just different from everywhere else.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to talk to David about that after the match and see if we can get some more details. Maybe we can work something out to at least get some of it on camera, because I just think it's a cool event.
I agree, Coach. Anything like that. Yeah, you're right. Not a lot. There's not a lot.
I like putting you in positions where you can't disagree with me, Sean. And then they give money to the USO. Well, that's stupid, and we shouldn't do it.
Lousy mooch and war widows. So, anyway,
Proposition 216 is just past the Springfield House. Lousy mooch and war widows. Homer Simpson there for anybody that's unaware of the slight inside joke that we've got going.
I get enough hate email. I don't need any more.
Do you? Or is it just the right amount?
I don't know what the right amount is anymore. But no, I didn't mean it that way. That was a joke, and I have nothing but the utmost of respect for all service people and their families. Seriously. And that's getting some nice kick.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul has one of the best overheads in the game right now. And part of it is just because he is able to just create kind of a unique spin from almost anywhere on the court.
Sure.
So it's kind of a little bit of slice. It's kind of a little bit of an undercut. He can do different things with it from different positions. And he almost always hits. I mean, you will just rarely see him hit like a pure reset overhead that's a flat ball. He'll just always put a little action on it. And
some serious reach, too. I didn't realize how long his arms were.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
they've definitely got some height to play with a little bit.
Sure.
I think that's a 40 love opportunity here in the beginning. It's a great pick by David. Mixing up some spin. Great dig again. Oh, going for the finishing move. One of the things that David does so well that I've always loved about his game is he just plays such solid defense from everywhere on the court. Like, you kind of think you have him in trouble. He comes up with the right shot. I mean, he, every once in a while, he'll drive from a position that you wouldn't expect, but he's very calculated about it. He moves well. I know he's been dealing with a little bit of a back injury, which makes him a kindred spirit in my heart there, because I'm in the same boat at the moment, and so I know he doesn't feel like he's playing sharp, but he's just always fun to watch him play.
No question. Solid. Almost makes you sick, Coach, really, if you think about it. When guys
well, especially because it's natural talent.
That's
and,
true.
It's not that he doesn't work hard on his game, but I mean, it starts to come down to
Exhibit right there.
The things that he, that you do well.
It just makes certain things look easy.
I played some college tennis with David as well, and so we go way back, and it was one of the things he was always good. I mean, he was just always so good on the defensive side.
I've been on the tennis court with him, but never played a match with him, just hit with him a couple times, and he definitely is a solid.
Yeah.
You could tell he will not make a mistake.
Yeah, no, it's just he doesn't, it's kind of that perfect mentality for paddle, he won't, he kind of refuses to let errors bleed away for no reason. Maybe miss a shot here and there, but then he's able to rein it in pretty quickly. So always fun to play with and against. Plus, he's a good guy, so
he is.
Makes it easier.
There it is. Anyway, so
not like the rest of these jokers. Okay, well, good warm-up serve. You should have kept that one, Stu. I don't know why you wanted the warm-up if that was going to be the result. Clearly.
Because maybe he can actually do better than that. Maybe. You know what I mean?
Now that he's warmed up, let's see what this serve does.
I know I couldn't.
Yeah.
But that was a heck of a. It was off the back edge of the line.
Monster. We better see the same thing.
Well,
okay, it worked out.
All right.
Good for you, Stu.
What you saying? Talent.
Proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep. Really smart for these guys to be going Aussie here against Paul. because he can just drive balls from anywhere. So you might as well make him hit a ball down the line, so he doesn't have
kick. That was nice.
Doesn't have a cross court angle all the time.
Oh, it's in there.
Wow.
What a shot.
Huge.
Man. Mr. McKnight. He can sing too. I know. I don't think he's the same McKnight, but that's not the point.
B. McKnight. I mean, you don't know.
Another great backhand. He probably gets that all the time, by the way. Dig.
Smart.
Let's just
Look at the
pace.
great speed from David. I mean, good dig and everything, but yeah, and Paul able to get up there early enough because that ball just didn't quite come out low enough off the paddle. It was a good cutter opportunity, but it kind of floated and kicked up instead of spinning back over.
He's there.
Yeah. That's that overhead that can be so devastating from Paul when he can get a hold of that ball in the middle that just dies.
I want to say this might be the second time Stu's been on
The stream.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think
Stu.
probably, yeah, it's so interesting because as we get into the live stream, part of the issue that we have is that there's only so many huts that can accommodate the live stream setup.
Yes.
You know, whether it's internet capability or whether it's the space that we need in order to set up or just what the schedule happens to be that week. And so there's been a little bit of crossover, right? Where we've seen Glenview a couple of times, we've seen Westmoreland a couple of times, and it's just kind of the nature of it's kind of the nature of the beast. So it's all right. Stick with us, and we'll get you some more exposure at some other clubs as we.
No. Well, the other thing is, I mean, it's not like Stu isn't a great player. It's actually fun to watch him.
Great shot.
Good hand.
And I know what you're all thinking now, which is, where is my chicken sandwich? Yep, showtime. Good dig, Stu. Making that one look easy. That was a tough ball.
Easy ball. It's a good drive. Maybe even better volley there. Nick is there.
Yep, nice high lob to recover. You'll see David start to make a lot of shifts here. He does a really good job kind of reading the situation. I mean, I know they're picking on Stu in that corner, and that's clearly the strategy, but they're going to, we're going to make a switch.
Right on
Put
cue.
David back in a position where he can be most effective off of both wings. That's kind of Stu's bread and butter right there, is that opportunity to look for that forehand chance. Such solid overheads,
No question.
too, from Ben and Paul to just not, they're just not kind of putting themselves in trouble, kind of that pinpoint
Look at that dig.
pressure.
I almost feel like you got to go lefty.
That's
He
tough.
was able to do that on the
That's
backhand
tough.
side.
Good shot.
Amazing.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome point. Another moonshot. Speaking of paddle marathons, Coach, look at this.
Yeah. This point is a paddle marathon. Saw the opportunity. You definitely saw David sneak over early in order to try to make that move, but maybe just on the edge of his strike zone.
So should I take, like, if we had another cam?
Sorry, that must have been game to go 2-0. I'm
think it
sorry,
was.
I may have
That's
had
okay.
the score wrong. Ben with a great first volley, making it look easy.
Who was?
One of the most frustrating things about playing against Ben is that when you hit a great shot and you think that he's in trouble, he ends up always coming up with like no problem, you know, like you
horrible quality.
smoke a return.
I just hate
And even though, I mean, you would just think that it would struggle a little bit, and instead he's
what
just like,
a
nah, I got it.
return.
And then I jinxed him by talking about it.
Well, you know, to Bukowski's credit, Dave just smoked that thing.
I think it's love 30.
Me too.
Sorry, without our intern, some of these points are happening faster than I can track.
Cal had to go get his girlfriend for the airport.
Yeah.
Come on, a likely story.
Yeah. First of all, Cal, the way you play that is you just pay for the Uber.
Yes. And no, say that you're going to do that, and then don't.
When was Well, not everybody wants a relationship to last. You know, and sometimes you're looking for a way to get out. I understand, Cal. It's okay. When was the last time you picked somebody up from the airport that wasn't your like immediate family member?
Wow, great question. Actually, no. Eric Taylor. Yeah, I picked him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got some friends that you'll still do it for. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For the most part, I kind of make it a habit of being like, if you're coming to visit me specifically, then I guess I'm okay picking people up from the airport. But if it's like a peripheral, like, hey, I need a ride, I'm like, I'll just pay for your Uber.
That's a good criteria, Coach.
You got to make decisions somehow.
It's true.
I'm also never helping anyone move again. That's not happening.
Loaded. Yeah.
That's
Great roller.
that's the end of that time in my life. I'll give you beer and pizza. Okay, well, then I'm going to give you $200 and you just hire somebody. Great drive there. 1540, I think.
Hey, some of my friends, $200 isn't enough for beer and pizza.
Actually, we can't be on that side, so it's
Nope.
got to be 3040. That is a bummer city. That's going to be a switch, but it puts Westmoreland on the board.
Yes.
Just a tad.
If I
Off-center.
really needed to, you know, I could probably, if we had another camera, I could take it on location to get your chicken sandwich if you wanted me to do that.
We're going to give you the full hut experience
just
and
saying,
live stream the
walking
delivery
down
of the
yeah,
chicken sandwich.
right. Order a beer, get a chicken sandwich. You get
I
the
actually
whole
kind of
thing.
like it. It's one of those things that comes up occasionally where my you know, somebody will watch the stream and be like, what were you guys talking about? And we're like, I usually say, like, I'm just trying to provide, like, an authentic Chicago paddle hut experience, which involves, like, snacks and, you know, having a beer and hanging out with your friends. This is weird because we're in a spot right now where there's no background noise because we're in a separate side, like the office of Glenview is separate from where the hut is. But sometimes I like it that there's
some ambient
a little
noise.
chatter behind us. Yeah.
As we like to call it. What a shot.
No, this was the right call because there's like 40 people in the hut.
I'll tell you what,
I don't know if
Rose
we'd
is
be able to
just
hear anything,
set-
but
I mean, he's like a spider out there. Rose is just like he gets everything back. It's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, he's a great player, and he's gotten progressively better every season for like the last 4 years, to the point where I think it bothers people.
Two-handed forehand. I love that
Two-handed
shot,
everything
too.
from Ben. Refusal to take a hand off the paddle. Always like to see that. McKnight, perhaps one of the only guys not growing up with a rackets background. Great,
Just athlete.
great soccer player. I think played a bunch of soccer in college.
I can see that.
There's a rumor going around that he was athlete of the year over Allen Iverson.
You're kidding.
That's true.
Georgetown?
That's true, actually. Yeah, Georgetown. Yeah, as a soccer player, which he's even got to be even harder to do as a soccer player.
Wow.
And just an awesome dude. Always happy to get the chance to work with him on the stream or, you know, be on the court with him. Just you know, champion of the sport. Does a lot for the league and the teams and APTA and just all of it. So yeah.
Big, unbelievable.
Oh, so close. That would have been quite the pick.
Talk about waiting to the last second to hit that ball. That was impressive.
Yeah,
Well,
that
after
would have
playing
been.
high school soccer for a number of years, I say a number of years because it took me a long time to get out. I would not want to If I was a forward, I would not want to. If he played defenseman, I probably would not challenge him.
No.
He looks like one slide tackle and I'm pretty much done. There's a moonshot cat. I love that.
There's a Mississippi moon ball. Yep, smart. Yep, bail out before the ball is even struck,
Look at
knowing that
that,
the ball's
sick.
a little short.
Scoop.
A little wide. All right, back to a deuce game. Fun little fact here, you'll notice on the back of David's vest, he's got a little DB logo that he started putting on stuff primarily because, everybody has kind of the same looking stuff in the hut. And so, it was a fun little thing to design, which is his specifically that he put together. So there are other imitators out there that are trying to use the same design, but something that he actually, put together himself, and is a cool little logo, kind of a good idea. Throw some stuff on your own gear to differentiate it when everybody in the world has the same vest or the same jacket or the same whatever in the hut. Always
I like
nice
the
to see.
originality, Coach. You're right.
But
That's
he's
cool.
he's the original DB.
It'd even work out even better if he was like an audio engineer because DB is,
yeah.
stands for decibels.
Right.
Well,
we can talk him into it. He'll probably be good at it. Oh, great decision.
Yeah.
Looking for the right ball and definitely had the opportunity. Just caught a little tape. I mean, absolutely the right shot above the net. Somebody, had some open space.
Sure. It's a great serve.
Man, something that he has just always he got so good at and has just kind of continued to improve is his placement on his backhand screen drive. He can just hold the ball so long and pick different spots.
It's not easy to go cross court with a touch like that either, Coach.
No, there's a pretty intense finesse factor involved in hitting that ball, in a spot. Switching it up again, give him a different look.
Nice.
Solid hands, both sides. Man, that's tough.
I jinxed him.
No, you know what? It feels like that sometimes, especially when you throw a couple of bombs in there, right? So Stu came over and he hit a couple of monster drives, and then all of a sudden there's that moment where great shot, David with the touch, back to deuce. But you throw a couple monster drives and somebody flexes off the volley, and then all of a sudden there's a moment of mental defeat, sort of, where you kind of lose your focus,
right?
Where you almost can't believe you're still playing the point. Really? We're still out here? Okay.
Screen drive.
Stu's coming right back with that action. Wow, great hands.
Yeah. It's like bring him up.
Ben just so solid.
Set him up and bring him down.
Flexing those off.
And knock him down.
All right, so that was game. Sorry, I was one behind in the score on that last one. So 3-1, Rose McKnight. I haven't seen Pete Rose in a while, actually. I might have seen him at early at one of the matches that we did at Sunset Ridge.
Sure.
And I know he plays, obviously, on this team.
With his brother,
But I hope he's doing well. I think they did that night, yeah. But I just haven't seen Pete as much as I've seen Paul lately for this season. I act as though I call him every day. And it's just, only in paddle matches. Yeah.
Are you,
we're Facebook friends.
Look at that.
I don't have Facebook.
I don't have friends.
And we're both in good or bad company, depending on how you look at it.
that.
Oh, that is Paul's bread and butter. He's going to want that one back. It was.
He's got surprising
He really
pace
likes that shot. Yeah.
off that ball. I mean,
Yep. That's a great drive. Able to knock that down. 15 all. Great return.
really good rip. To your point there, Ben McKnight's drive, just boom. Stu and Dave are using signs, by the way. Just real subtle. Good hands. That's a great drive. Nice recovery. Oh,
Really good rip. Closing on that ball, just forcing the volley. 1540, I think, here.
they're kind of smelling it in the water here.
Yeah, mixing up the formations. It's a good call.
It's a great serve. You know,
Oh,
what a shot.
nice play. Ended up in an unintentional I formation there.
Yeah, it looked like the Wildcat formation. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Oh,
Oof. Tough. Just going for a little bit of extra angle to get it up to the corner. Interesting, too, because Paul cracks that return and it goes through. But one of the worst things you can do against him is then decide to drive a ball back off the screen. Like,
Sure.
he is absolutely
Good shot.
hoping, he's 100% hoping that you drive a ball back off the screen because he is always there and hurts you with the next ball. Drop shot or,
sure.
you know, jams one in your corner. It's just like you have to slow down in transition.
That's a crazy good point. And the ball, the point would have been over if I was playing out there. I would never get that other one back. That was incredible.
Great shot, but gonna have to give it up. Yep. So hard and letting it go through.
Yeah, Stu's got a big serve motion. Not that
Yeah.
that's going to be in paddle. It really makes a huge difference. But I mean, if you need to put a little heat on an overhead, he definitely has power in reserve.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go, picking up that
Yes.
audio from Saddle and Cycle again.
Yeah. They just like to say the word hit a lot.
Yeah,
out over
right,
there, and
exactly.
yeah,
Little deep.
just good patience.
All right, advantage Glenview here.
He just decided to take a rip.
Yep, taking the swing. That's his shot. Smart to take a little extra time on the serve there for Stu as well. Just, you know,
You know,
find your
much I
center,
love
let him
that,
think
yeah.
about it. Maybe just enough to take somebody out of rhythm, but you gotta have your focus.
Moons. Oh yeah.
It's a good waterfall.
No way.
Nice shot.
I know. But coach, you're not supposed to do that when you're falling backwards. Well, that's it.
No,
Great
just a
rip.
little deep.
Perfect location.
Yep.
For those of you playing at home, so to speak, or just watching, hitting any drive like that between the players, whether it's right down the middle or not, always a good idea.
That's a great serve.
Huge kick.
Great serve. As the prophecy has foretold.
Oh, he's there. He
Good
one-times
stretch.
it. You know what? You gotta love that.
Yep.
That's motivation.
Smart.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of action on that ball from Ben. Always dangerous when somebody lets a ball, like they intentionally let a ball bounce so they
Yes.
can have the extra energy of it coming up off the court, and you
Take
know
it
that they have a
early like
cut
that?
on it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like always a chance that that one just corkscrews on you.
Stayed in.
Yeah, that's just too. Oh no!
That's honest.
that is honest. That's a tough transition there. Great volley. I don't know if it was going to go in or out, but Ben felt like he had to hit it, and
Yeah.
I think Paul was pretty convinced it was going out, and that he was going to let it go.
Dave was trying to get the crowd going.
Yeah.
Not sure what he meant by crowd, but I'm getting chubbier as I get older. Maybe I look like a crowd at this point.
You don't look like that many people. We're at 81 viewers, so that's always a nice
If I knew which
transition.
button the rim
It's good to
shot
know
was.
that the longer
What
that
a
these matches
volley.
go, the more people watch, so that's
It's
always
true.
fun.
Well, I think half of them are tuning in just to see if the chicken sandwich shows up.
Yeah, no, at this point, I think that's probably going to be what, comes out of this.
Yeah, because maybe some people thought I was
Yeah,
actually
I think it's going to be
serious
trending
about
on
the
social
remote.
media tomorrow. Hashtag where's the sandwich?
The remote to go to the bar to get the sandwich. Sandwich.
Game point. Plus or maybe.
All right. So pulling back
All right.
into
So that
the
is
match
a
here.
game, great hold, 2, 3, or 3 serving 2.
Correct.
Here going into midway in the second set. Nice, good pick. So this is always interesting from David. I was going to say this even though he missed that shot, but one of the guys that can be really successful playing from so close in the court, like you'll often see him just with his toes inside the baseline just
Yeah.
all the time, like just as his default position. And it's just because he's so good at picking the ball up off the rise or choosing to let it go to the screen. Like you don't see it that often, but like that's his like neutral position, is he just plays close. And it gives him a lot of opportunities, to hit
question.
offensive lobs or counterpunch, but there's not that many guys out there in the world of paddle that when they feel like they have to be defensive, you see them step towards the ball.
No, and he also gets a step in, not that it makes that much of a difference, but it is a factor. He gets a jump on the drop volley or a drop shot anyway.
Yeah, no,
which is
that's
insane.
huge as well.
Very difficult
Yeah.
to do that to him.
Oh, that is a much-needed volley drop shot lead cord winner.
You watching this, and I would just say this: all 4 of these guys have just solid drives. As I say that, I should say Stu misses. Unbelievable.
Sorry, what's that? 15 all?
Oh, yeah.
Or 30 love?
Let's see, that'll be 30 love.
30 love.
Now
Deep,
whatever,
I think, 30-15.
30-15. Well, it was. Wait a minute. No,
30
no,
all?
no. Uh-oh.
I missed one.
You
Sorry, a
missed one.
flurry of fast points there, and I missed one.
I should have been concentrating.
No.
No, because if it was my chicken sandwich, I wouldn't have been able to think of anything else but the chicken sandwich.
Now we're all distracted by the chicken sandwich. Okay, that's got to be game. And we're changing ends, so
it
now
is.
I'm concerned that I don't know what the score is at all. Can you pop out there, Nance?
let's say 4. Well,
I just thought it was.
it's got to be 5-2. Yeah, I can check.
Yeah, thanks. All right, well, I'm going to focus on the game score. I'm going to guess that it's 4-3 because they made a switch.
Well, yeah, I would think so. And Dave and Stu seem a little more relaxed.
That's a great roller. Great roller by David. Yeah, good move.
I should say blitz poach, really, but
Yep. You can poach and blitz at the same time.
can apparently.
Sometimes we hear things as pros that surprise us a little bit. One of them is sometimes somebody asks, says something that doesn't make any sense at all. Where like somebody will come off the court and be like, I don't know what happened. They just had a really good blitz waterfall. And I'm like, that's not, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I don't know. Their overhead drop shot was just amazing.
Fantastic.
What?
Wow. Extra English. Something I needed in school. But thank you so much. So, no, I'm just saying, there was some serious rotation on the ball.
Oh man. All right, so we're getting a lot of let courts here that are going against Westmoreland, which often can be the difference maker in the world of paddle.
That's that home court advantage I was talking about.
Fortunately or unfortunately. And what is home court advantage, Sean?
I tell you this much: anybody who's on the home team, they get their food. I just tell you.
That's one of the
That's
most
right.
important parts
Whether it's a quesadilla or a
of home or a burger
right, yeah.
or a chicken sandwich or a steak fajita.
Love the two-handed forehand.
Oh, going for the slash cut
Sean,
drive.
shut up. Don't jinx him. I love the two-handed forehand lob, though. That was, you don't see that very often.
No, but it does provide a layer of disguise when you can do both of those things.
No
Good
question.
duck by Stu.
Yeah, I was going to say. Dave picking it up.
There he is again, way inside the court.
Yeah. Saber by Dave Bukowski. And not really, because it's not a return, but in a sense it is. These guys are just too solid. Incredible. Get over. Yep.
Yeah, good lob. Good overhead to come up with from that position, too. That's a tough one. This is the drive stopper to go back that far. Knife fight. Okay, back in action.
Look at that.
Nice
Big.
pick by Stu there.
Oh, it's going to be trouble. He's there.
Yep. Smart. Left-hand leverage. Good ball. Nice recovery. Go.
Why not?
There it is. Oh, but they're going to have to stay back. Too hard.
Unbelievable.
Yep, again. Oh, that's a great
Awesome,
point.
Awesome point.
Back to a deuce game. Oh, smart play by Stu
Really
there to
smart.
just float the ball back. They like just straight ahead, nothing, keep it in play. Good play.
Well, presumably this is a huge point here.
I would assume so, despite the fact that we have to double check the game
Unbelievable.
score.
Again, he got
Oh, what a pick!
That was crazy good.
go. He's there again. Oh, he tried to go around the net post. What a great opportunity. Mine as well. That's a good pay. Yeah, I know. I'm with David on that one. I mean, like, I had to go for it. I get it. If you're gonna make that good a move, you might as well end that point.
Yeah, and you know what? If we have a highlight reel, that definitely would have made it.
We'll put it in the highlight reel.
I think that get was in the highlight reel. Mooney. Art Mooney. In there.
Yep. Smart shot.
Yes. It was a soccer. It seemed like a soccer match.
Yep. That was right at the corner. That's a great block by Paul. Tough backhand coming. Oh, he read it so well.
Change up.
Yep. He was right there. Really smart of him to not blast it and just roll it in there, because I think David was a little in front of it, actually.
Exactly.
He's too fast.
Kind of is.
That's a bummer.
What the? That was what a great serve. All right.
Let's see if we can catch a score here.
I think it's fours. I think it'd be 4. Oh, jeez.
I thought that Paul and Ben were up during one of the transitions. I could be wrong.
It's edge of the line on that one. Got good wood on that one. Just wasn't able to convert. The serve?
Yeah, it's the only thing I thought it was wide.
Yeah, the serve. Serve was, if anything, was wide. I don't think it was. Uh-oh. Good gamesmanship by Dave, though.
Smart, yeah.
Yep. Stop to talk about the serve. And
Yep. And always compliment your opponent, because they immediately make an error. You're serving so well today, and that's worth about 3 faults.
asking for a Fresca.
For a Fresca?
Yeah. Hey,
I love grapefruit soda. I mean, Fresca is just an underutilized great cut by Paul. Deadly from short distances.
Whoa,
nice
didn't miss that
try.
by much. Get out.
There's another one.
He just rules with that.
This guy's on fire.
Well, it looks like.
Yeah, I was right on the score.
You
I'm
were
excited about that. That is a 6-2, 6-3 victory right there for Paul and Ben. A strong showing. Those guys were on
Didn't
fire.
even see, you know what? The amazing thing about that match, and again, it's a probably an indication of the way paddle works. 2 and 3 didn't seem like it was that much of a routine. It seemed closer than that.
No, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's paddle's always a grind, and you don't realize it. But I bet ultimately, when push comes to shove, you have those. Like if you were to say, oh, look at those let cords that none of them went Westmoreland's direction.
That's
all
true.
of a sudden, that can be a 6-3.
translates.
So quick,
Sure.
4 or 5 points that
Absolutely.
that are just freebies like that, where it just doesn't go your way.
No.
And
Well,
and all
speaking
of a
of
sudden
having
it
it
can
your
go
way, not to
We're
give
going to Burger King?
Yeah, not to give Burger King a plug.
Burger King, a new sponsor for the
Just see what
CPTC
you're-
LiveStream.
Oh, I just dream about that.
Unannounced and also not true. So
We'll see if Coach Matt will have it his way with that chicken sandwich. I didn't mean it the way I sounded, by the way.
Sean, thanks for announcing with me.
No, thank
all this
you,
time,
Coach.
and in
Always
life in
a
general.
pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yep, good stuff.
And
Well,
let's thank Jason Love,
yeah,
too,
thanks
for-
Jason Love and Glenview Club for tonight and being so accommodating, and then also Illinois Bone and Joint for being a sponsor for the CPTC LiveStream.
Awesome. Yes.
We're looking forward to working with them, and they've got some stuff in the pipeline that we're going to get going probably after the Thanksgiving break. So,
Yes.
all right, everybody have a good one in the world of paddle. We'll see you.